All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. My camera apparently is fuzzy today. Why is it fuzzy?
I don't know, man, but when we were playing the music, it sounded like a bee was like flying or taking over your house, man. Like just killer bees. You got to hear the replay. In chat, we were talking about what's going on with the bees. It was just like it sounded, I thought like, oh, there's a bee in Peter's room and Peter's trying to get it. But yeah, it was weird.
that came through, eh? Weird. That is way over in the kitchen. That's the dishwasher. It sometimes makes this weird sound, and never figured out why. It's
All right.
going to self-destruct one of these days. I just, it keeps going. So
Yeah.
anyways,
All right.
yeah. So yes. Anyways, good morning. Hey, it's a new day here in Canada. We had a federal election yesterday, and we
Yes.
have the new old government back. So, anyways, the Liberals got reelected for a fourth term, but under new leadership. Justin Trudeau was out, right, about a month and a half ago, and Carney is in, and we now have a central banker as our prime minister. So.
Peter, you don't sound too happy about that.
No, I'm perfectly fine with it. It was a weird election in Canada because the main two competitors. We have a sort of a weird four-party system in Canada because we got the Bloc Québécois, which really only gets votes in Quebec. We have the NDP, which is the New Democratic Party, which they're always on the fringes. They want to spend all the money. And they only ever get like a couple of votes. They barely remain a party by our legal requirements, but they've been hanging around for decades. Excuse me. And then we got the Liberals and the Conservatives, which are the main two parties that always compete.
Okay, yeah.
And our Conservative candidate was, I guess he was sort of like our Trump-like candidate here. That's what everybody was sort of comparing him to. And then we had the Liberals, which really, Justin Trudeau lost them a lot of favor over the last little while because he wasn't doing that great of a job. And then Carney sort of took over about a month and a half ago after Trudeau resigned. And he's a central banker, right? He ran the Bank of Canada. He ran the Bank of England. So that's his background. So it's a weird, it was either Trump-like guy or banker. Like they're sort of like almost polar opposite type people.
Yeah.
So anyways, but Carney got the vote. Liberals are in. So again, same party that was in power last three elections is in power again, but it's not exactly the same party because they got a very different sort of perspective and leader.
Dynamics.
So, anyways, we'll see what happens. Who knows? It's Canada. We're just here waiting to see what's going to happen in the U.S. because frankly, that's what's driving all of our concerns and what's the outlook in Canada is because we are the little brother to the U.S. big brother. So where the U.S. economy goes, we follow. Like we don't have much of a choice. We are about 8 or 9% of the size of the U.S. both in terms of population and economic GDP. So
really, I didn't know it was that small, man. Really?
Yeah. It's only.
Well, you got a lot of land. Got a lot of land, man.
We do. I mean, we're talking. How many people are in the U.S. these days? 380 million, something like that.
It's something 300, 350.
Yeah, we're like 40 million people in Canada. Our GDP is about 8% or something like that of the U.S. So yeah, it's we're not that big. So we have no choice. Whatever the U.S. does.
You look at a map and you're like, oh wow, Canada's huge, but it's a lot of empty space. We got to build more in Canada, man. We got to go up there and build giant Baraboo Traders headquarters right in the middle. Just all move up there. We'll figure something out.
There
All
you go.
right, excellent, man. We'll see how this goes. It sounds like your
Yep.
politics are getting as exciting or close to as the U.S. is. We'll see.
I don't
I
know
don't know
about
if that's
that.
a good or bad thing, but
Yeah.
good,
I don't
good.
know. We'll see. Anyways, here we
All
are.
right. Here it is, guys. I got the wrong scanners up. Let me go to my other set of scanners here. There we go. And yeah, I've been messing around with this scanner. So you're going to see this here, but it's really supposed to be here. That's okay. So gapping up today, guys, we got a couple of things on here. Obviously, weight drugs companies in play this morning. NVO, we'll get to that in a second. Peter will let you know what's happening there. And again, aside from that, there's three companies with that news. One, two, three. It's pretty quiet. MLGO they just love being on this list, whether gapping up or down. They're here again today. Pony AI, we've seen them a couple of times on here. They don't trade very well. Our big companies are not making the list this morning, right? They're just kind of quiet for the most part, just like they did yesterday. But they were not quiet at that market open. We saw a lot of action, mainly to the downside. Quick recovery yesterday, Peter, on the SPY to the upside around noon, I believe. We saw a nice bounce back. So you had a little bit of everything yesterday. It's just a quick look on what took place at the overall market. Again, the drop in the morning, the recovery towards the close, just to basically come back to where we came from, right? So very interesting day yesterday. So
And what's even more interesting, Carlos, is if you go back and you sort of run the same chart for, I don't know, the last 2 weeks or so, this pattern has repeated very often, right? Where we get
yeah.
at the open, maybe it looks like an initial move, then we drop, then we recover in the afternoon. Like it feels like we've done this over and over again. So, yeah, yesterday was another repeating pattern.
Yeah, it sure was. So we'll see where it goes. But before we get to all that fun stuff, let's take a look at our U.S. economic calendar. We do have a lot coming out today.
Yeah, and we have a bunch of data at 8:30. Well, let's start with that. So at 8:30, we had the U.S. goods trade balance. So this is basically the net difference between imports and exports. I mean, big focus recently, of course, with all the tariff deals. The forecast was that basically the U.S. is going to import $142.8 billion more of goods in the month of March than they exported. In fact, the number was 162 billion. So again, significantly more imports happened than exports. Again, this is a March monthly number. As we've been talking about, as these numbers, both interim and final, have been coming out, there's a lot of view that there's been some stockpiling. There's also a view, frankly, from the concern that there's going to be a lot of empty shelves coming up in the U.S. So, Carlos, I'll be interested to hear from you and my American friends whether that actually happens. I'm hearing that volume at the ports in New Jersey and in Los Angeles and Seattle, I guess those are the biggest three, I guess, in the U.S. I don't know. Anyway, but are really dropping as, of course, China shipments have stopped, and that there's going to be a lot of unavailable products. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen anything here so far. I think I can still get everything, but anyways, this trade goods balance could be a more interesting number in the coming months as that changes. Retail and wholesale inventories pretty much on target. Wholesale inventories expected to be up 0.6%, was up 0.5, and retail was up 0.4 versus a 0.1. So all those are within range. Norm in the chat room saying he stockpiled 6,000 rolls of toilet paper. You're planning some gastrointestinal problems, maybe? I'm not sure. Anyways, all right. That's a lot of toilet paper. At 9 o'clock, we do have the S&P price index that's coming out. At 10 o'clock, we have some interesting stuff with the consumer confidence number and the JOLTS job openings. The JOLTS number should be an interesting one if it is anywhere off of the target. The target feels like a very sort of oddly round number, right? It's 7.5 million. I mean, that's about average. That there's nothing particularly special about the number, but I think the market might react if we are significantly off that number, higher or lower. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So keep in mind, right before the market opens at 9 and then at 10, if you're trading, be aware those numbers could have some market impact. We'll find out together. Today, we are continuing earnings, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of earnings this morning. There really wasn't that much of interest yesterday, but we did talk about this, how the week is just going to get more and more interesting with the earnings. Some of the big ones happen towards the end of the week, the big tech stocks that we tend to watch. Today, we have a ton of earnings, not from companies we normally trade, but stuff that's worth talking about. So we'll get there.
Yep, absolutely. All right, friends, quick look at our gappers list. Let's start going through this and see what we have here. We'll start with the big news that's taken over this gappers list, at least right now. It's NVO, Peter. So NVO this morning, we are up slightly, about 3.3 at the moment. But we got some other ones that are actually doing pretty good. For example, I think the big winner seems to be LifeMed and HIMS, right? So if you look at HIMS, this is up 30% right now. Look at this chart, how great that is as far as the move this morning. Plus 19 million shares traded. And at LifeMed, LFMD, also up 21% with this news. So, Peter, latest and greatest on these companies.
Well, it really seems to be Novo Nordisk has decided to work with HIMS. That I guess they've got some sort of I don't know if it's formal or informal, but there's some sort of partnership going on there. As the world starts to pick their dance partners, I guess, in the weight drug scheme. Sorry, pardon me. Pfizer's coming out with a weight loss drug. Eli Lilly's got one. Novo Nordisk, of course, has the original, right? The Ozempic drug. And it's sort of like was Novo Nordisk against the world. I guess maybe now that they're apparently working with HIMS, I guess. I'm trying to get the details out of this, but it seems a little tenuous as to what's happening. I think that combined with the fact that Pfizer had very mixed results, the analysts were quite disappointed in what they reported, and they reported that they had a couple of business challenges that were unexpected and are taking their earnings down lower than expected. So and their revenue lower. So I think that's just so boosting Novo Nordisk and HIMS, because I don't really see anything new. Like again, I don't. Carlos, do you know anybody that's on a weight loss drug? I don't. But it just seems like there's always talk about them. They seem so popular,
Yeah.
but who the heck is using them?
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't think women will tell you. Like a dude would tell me, like, yeah, I'm on it, whatever. My friends, like if a guy would tell me, but I don't think the females are going to tell you. But you do see, you will see the change. Like I know neighbors that have done it, but I don't know them personally like that, right? But you could tell, like, you went from this to that in 3 months. Yeah, you don't go to the gym? No, you're on the drug. That's simply it. You're not running around the block. You're on the drug.
Mighty Mouse, what part of the country do you live in that 4 or 5 people? Are you California? I picture it as a California thing. I mean, that may be unfair. I have no idea. Yeah. But East Coast. Okay, so not at all. I don't know. I mean, there's so much talk about them. There's such competition in this space, and I'm thinking how many people are actually taking these things? Like it. I don't know. Feels overblown, but maybe I'm just out of the loop. I need to get on the. Yeah. I need to get on the.
And this is gonna make it even easier now, Peter, because you do need a prescription for this. I was reading on Bloomberg.com. LifeMed and also HIMS, I guess they got telemed. So now you don't have to go into an office. People don't like going into office and say, and this especially for women, I can imagine it could be. And women, tell me if I'm wrong, they don't want to be seen going to get a prescription for weight loss, right? That's got to be a little bit intimidating. So now you could do it from the comfort of your home through a phone. Oh, those things they're gonna shoot up, man. They're gonna shoot up. Trust me. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But that's what I read on Bloomberg.com.
That's true.
Yeah,
actually, Norm's right. Andrew has talked about using it.
Andrew used it. He's done everything. Yeah,
I guess I do know somebody. I discount Andrew because you're right. He's done everything. I mean, when you go from like doing that and talking about injecting frog poison and like he's just a pincushion. He'll try anything. I don't know that I don't know that counts.
he licked the frog. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So there it is. These are in play, guys. I mean, obviously, tons of volume this morning, as you can see here. I'm probably gonna watch HIMS. It seems to be the one that's the most active right now. HIMS and NVO. Probably want to watch those two. LifeMed, I don't know much about them. So I'll just watch NVO and hymns. I don't know which one to put on my main list, so I'll do this. I'm gonna put both of them for now. We'll fine tune this a little bit later. All right, back to our gappers list. SoFi is on here. It's one that's been on our list in the past. We've traded many times. Peter, they seem to be in play this morning. These guys are up a 8.2, 14 million shares traded. Daily also looks interesting on this one. What's going on with this today?
Earnings. So they had good earnings this morning. They were the ones at the top of my list for earnings. Beat on revenue and on bottom line earnings pretty well, actually. I mean, it's one of these where they're expected to deliver 742 million roughly of revenue. They got 771. That's good, and they doubled their earnings estimates. They were only supposed to deliver 3 cents a share and delivered 6 cents a share. So that's good news for them. In addition, they took a traditional route of they actually increased their forecast. So unlike a lot of companies that were sort of removing forecasts, they have increased it. Now, here's another report that I was reading in relation to this. Apparently, like I don't know, like I saw this TV report. Is this news or fake news? Carlos, maybe you can help me out. That they're saying, hey, it's gotten so bad. There's been a drastic increase of people using short-term financing options like what SoFi offers, the point of sale finance, to pay for groceries.
No,
Is that a thing?
no,
I don't know.
no, I don't know, man. That's a little extreme. But again, I might not
It
know
sounded
people that are going through that, but that seems extreme.
I mean,
Yeah. Now, what we do see is
unfortunately,
people are cutting back on what they get. Like even we do. Like when we go to the store, like we're not gonna get 3 packs of that, 4 packs of this. Just get 2. So you do become conscious, of the spending because things are expensive. So you hopefully want to, well, at least what we're doing, we're buying less of stuff, hoping that things come back down. But I don't think people are going that route. That seems a little much.
I mean, like you said, look, it's going to happen. Unfortunately, there are people in circumstances where they need to. I get it. You got to get groceries for the kids. They got to have food. But like a drastic increase, I don't know. Anyways, look, SoFi had good numbers. Usually, unfortunately, SoFi's business model is it's probably not that great for the economy when their business is doing well because they do provide these point of sale or short term financing, which are usually that's expensive financing, right? Like that's just what costs people the most. So and SoFi benefits from it. So for this stock, definitely in play today. Good trading opportunity. Whether the news of the economy is overblown or not, I have no idea. But it's interesting now. Yeah, you just don't know what to trust, right? When you read stuff and
Yeah.
it's I find it tough.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? But again, Peter, we might not be seeing all of it, right? Our circle is probably very small compared to everything else. So who knows, man? Who knows?
Fair.
SoFi looks in play. I like it today, guys. I'm going to add it to my list here. I'll update the banner in just a second here. That's the old banner, so I got to update that in just a few minutes. But so far, I have hymns, right? So we'll throw that on there. I do have NVO as well, so I'm going to put that on there as well. And then I'm going to also add SoFi. Because I'm adding it to the chart, so it doesn't update. Yeah, so I'm just adding those right now, typing them in, and then we'll see what else we can get off this list. This list keeps growing. I see more tickers coming in here. Pony AI, I don't know about this stock. I never watch it, but they're here today. They're up 4.4, 2.2 million shares traded. Peter, what's the latest and greatest on this thing, man?
We talked about this one yesterday, how it popped up, and I think Carlos, you were questioning as to whether it was a real company or not. But it does, it's a real company. They exist. How big their business is, and does it match the size of their stock, float and trading? I don't know. I mean, this is a $2.7 billion company by market valuation. It actually had, if you were watching this at the open yesterday, you could have been pretty happy. I mean, it just sort of started going up and went up all morning. Sort of sideways through the afternoon, but it went up all morning and didn't suffer the pullback that a lot of stocks did. So it wasn't bad trading. I didn't actively watch it. Carlos, you and I were looking at different things. I was busy shorting Nvidia, I think, at the time, but I did speak at it towards the end of the day and surprised.
Peter, hold on a second, Peter. We're getting you more choppier than a rapper on Auto-Tune. So let's do this. Refresh your vMix link because it's really choppy. I think if you just disconnect and connect back in, it'll be better. But something went wrong with the audio there. All right, we'll wait for Peter to come back. In the meantime, he'll refresh, and that usually fixes the problem. All right, let me see.
Hello.
Oh, wow, it's still. Let me see.
Hello. What's wrong?
Okay, much better. All right, it's better now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Better? Okay. Okay. What's weird? What were we talking about? Pony, real stock.
Pony AI.
Hey,
Yep.
traded well yesterday. Put it on your list if you want. That's what I was trying to say.
Yes, back again a little bit. Yeah, we're getting some choppiness. Are you guys getting it from me as well? Is it coming from me also? Maybe it could be something else. Maybe it's not just Peter. No?
What?
Okay. All right, so it's just Peter. All right, so yeah, we'll see. Maybe he fixes it here. All right, friends, let's go. So that's Pony AI again. But you're right, Peter. It did trade very well yesterday. Like I was making fun of this, but it actually did trade like a real company. As you saw the pop all the way to 11.25 from 7. That's a big move. So if you like this one, guys, put it on your list. You know what? I can't deny this was a good move. I don't know how clean it was. It looks like it had volume. Maybe a secondary, guys. Is this thing gonna prove me wrong and become an actual tradable ticker? Let's see. Pony AI. I'm gonna put Pony on our list and see where this goes. So we're gonna put it right on here. PONY. Excellent. All right, next on the list is going to be TEM, another one that we've seen before, never traded it. This was not as great, so I'm going to probably keep it off my list. But Peter, Tempest AI, been on our list plenty of times. I don't think I ever traded this one. What's your thoughts?
I don't know. My thoughts are, can you hear me? Does it sound okay? Am I back?
Sounds very good. Did you do something? Yeah. Sounds good.
I restarted again, so. All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, don't know what that was, but I did check my internet. All was all good. I mean, anyways, all right. So, now I don't really have many thoughts on this. I don't know a lot about this company. This is an even bigger AI company at 9.3 billion in market valuation. Lower float though. I mean, it's an AI services company. They're in the medical services field. I mean, they've got some news that they published a new study. With their that's going well, anyways. But I've never watched it. I don't know what to think of it. Well, we only got 500,000 shares this morning, which would tell me, and the average volume is under 10 million. So, there's better things. I guess would be my summary.
Yeah. I agree. There's better things to look at. One of our favorites is on here, Peter. Man, we had so much fun. If you've been around with us for 5 years at least, right? You definitely know CCL. It's a stock that we went through a stretch where it was on our list every single day, man, and the opportunities were just awesome. They're up today 3%, 430,000 shares traded at the moment, Peter. So getting a little bit of some action today. What's going on? Anything happening here, or just a little bit of a bounce, given how much they have sold off recently?
Well, I think this is maybe just industry sympathy moves here, because Royal Caribbean, RCL, is the one that had earnings this morning, or at least the one that I was watching for earnings. And they had a surprisingly decent quarter. Royal Caribbean basically they were right on target for revenue and beat bottom line earnings. And so they've got very good forward bookings. And that's one of the things that the market looks for, is how is their, what's the cruise season looking like? They also raised their forecast. So they said, hey, they've got strong demand, like I just mentioned, and they think they're in line to make even more. So good news for Royal Caribbean, and I think that Carnival is just going up as a sympathy vote, I said, as a result.
Oh, gotcha. All right, so not really heavily in play. You are seeing a little bit of a pop here. I do like the way the daily's setting up for a potential breakout here. But again, it's going to need a lot more news than that for it to get going. So going to keep it off my list, guys. If something happens, hopefully we'll catch it on the scanners. But right now, not looking great. ANET, Arista Networks, also makes our list once in a while. Are they foreign? They look a little bit choppy on the daily, almost like if they're a foreign ticker. But I'm not sure. But live volume normally does not trade very well. Will not be on my list, Peter. Not sure there's any big news on this one today.
No, this is a U.S. based company. Again, another AI type play. So in this case, they're on the more on the hardware side, but they like to call themselves an AI. You go to their website, they talk all about AI, of course, because that's what you want to get into. Um, but I'm not sure why it's moving. The volume here this morning, Carlos, is like it just barely makes our list here with under a million shares traded, and I can't even find the million shares in the trading today. Like it's very gappy. So yeah, I'm not going to spend time watching.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Hong Kit Chang is telling me that they're the direct competitor for Cisco, so they are actually a American company. So there we go.
Mm-hmm.
I would take that's based on Hong King Chang. So if that's not correct, you can talk to him. But we believe our members know what they're talking about here. He must be in IT because nobody else would know that. He must be like some kind of IT programmer or developer. Let us know. All right, let's see here.
Picks on developers again.
Well, I am picking on developers again. Yes, I am. I am. Oh man, it's so funny. Can I say this on YouTube? I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but no. You know what? I gotta think about
Maybe.
that one. It's so funny. So I put my son in basketball class, whatever. We go every Wednesday, so we'll go tomorrow again. And it's in the area in the neighborhood that it's a lot of Asians, right? It's all Asians, right? And it's great. They're great people. And after the basketball court, we go over to the playground, and we're so different. I'm Dominican. I'm loud. Blah blah blah. And when it's time to go, I'm screaming my name, Adrian, Amanda, let's go. And I look around. There's no other parents screaming like around my town. That everybody screams for their kids. There's nobody else screaming. The Asians, they do it very different. They go up to their kid and knock on their shoulder. Hey, it's time to go, buddy. Like there's nobody else screaming at me. So I found this so weird. Like they talk about like you don't want to be what's the word here how you tell us, okay, these persons, they do a certain thing, like we're Dominicans, we're loud, like you don't want to have a bias, but it's actually true. Like I told my wife, like when they see a reel on Instagram about Dominicans being loud, they're gonna say, oh yeah, that's true, we saw a guy screaming at their kids in the park. So it's like some of that stuff is true as long as you want to hear, but some of it's negative, some of it's positive. It was just funny. So I told my wife, we're gonna try like the way the Asians do. We're gonna go to our kids and just tap on their shoulders and try to be quiet, see how that works. But we'll see. It was so funny, man. So funny.
Look,
All right.
cultural stereotypes are often there for a reason.
They are so true. Like I know people don't like say, oh, you shouldn't stereotype, but come on, they're somewhat true to it. In this case, it was against me, but it's the facts. It's the facts. All right. Let's go. Let's see what's going on here, friends. Our gappers list. Let's continue. We are pretty much set. The rest, I don't know about this. I want to get to the gap down. DNB. What is this? What is this? This Airbnb? No, Airbnb is different. DNB. Let's just take a look at this ticker because I don't recall. That is garbage. Wow, that is really bad. Look at this. What's going on here? Nah, this is not good. We'll leave that alone. All right, let's Peter, let's go to you. What do you like this morning that might not be on this list that you have today?
Well, a couple that didn't make our list either because they haven't traded enough volume or they just haven't gapped enough that had earnings. PayPal. I haven't talked about PayPal in a while. They had earnings, good volume this morning. They just they're only up 1.2%, which doesn't meet our threshold here. Normally it's 2% or higher. Anyways, they had earnings this morning. Missed revenue, beat bottom line earnings. PayPal used to be a real fun trader. Like it used to be a lot of fun, and very active. Not as active these days. It pretty trades like a flat 10 to 12 million shares every day, and it just doesn't get the same momentum it used to. So maybe with earnings today, it'll be in play. I don't know. I've sort of lost my enthusiasm for PayPal, but I thought I'd mention it because it did have earnings. UPS was another one that had earnings this morning. UPS beat their numbers on the quarter and delivered a very positive, result. They now UPS is one of the ones that I figured would follow the trend and not provide guidance. They have been they sort of basically they've sort of stepped back from their guidance, but they didn't call it off. So they did do as expected, where they're like, we're not sure, we don't know what the economy is going to do. But they also announced that they were cutting about 20,000 jobs. So that's one of those where, like, the market can react very differently to job cuts, right? If they think it's for operational improvement or you're driving efficiency, then it's a good thing. If you're cutting jobs because your business is dropping, that's a bad thing. So in this case, I think it's perceived as a bad thing, because UPS was green and it's now just gone red while I've been talking here over the last few minutes, with a big spike down. So anyways, so that's UPS. It might be in play. I'm not sure. The volume's even lower on this than the PayPal trading this morning. So buyer beware. Coca-Cola, another one with earnings this morning. KO is the weird ticker symbol on Coke. It's just always been different, right? They, what did they do? They missed on revenue, beat bottom line. They actually maintained their guidance. They actually stated they think the tariff, the impact of tariffs on their business is going to be relatively minimal, and that they maintain business operations despite what's happening with the tariff situation. So, interesting from Coke, with different message than we've heard out of companies. And last but not least, Pfizer, we sort of talked about them indirectly when we were looking at Novo Nordisk. Finally gapping like a 1/10%. They've got good volume this morning. They did have earnings. Like I mentioned, they sort of struggled. A bit of size miss on new. They were okay bottom line. They always make their, but they didn't do it on as much revenue as people expect. Again, Pfizer's not doing so well. Usually buoys their competition, like Novo Nordisk and Hims, who we were talking about earlier. So I'm choppy again.
Yeah. I was checking some stuff on my end. You are very, very choppy again. I'm not sure why. It goes like really good. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not sure what it is.
I'll rejoin. My connection's solid. Something's going on there.
Yeah. Not sure.
I'll be back.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, if appears to come back here, guys. We went through some of the earnings there. Let's go look at our gap down list this morning. So here's the stuff that's gapping down today. We'll start with Spotify, SPOT. This stock, it's a tough one to trade. They don't get a lot of volume. Today they're down 6.7, 517,000 shares traded. So a bit of a drop here. But for me, this stock it's a tough trader, right? So it reminds me of Amazon when it was like $3,000, where they didn't get enough volume. They had big moves, but to read the price action was just a little bit difficult. So again, depends on your trading style. For my trading style, this doesn't work very well. Peter, how about for you when it comes to Spotify?
Yeah, well, they're here because of earnings. They missed their numbers, had a tough quarter, and their guidance is a lot lower than analysts were expecting. So not good news on either side, both in current and future projections. So I'm not surprised that they're dropping. Like you said, from a trading perspective, tough to trade. Like, they've got great volume, well, decent volume this morning. But it's tough to trade. Like, they only get a couple million shares every day, and there are better targets out there generally.
Yeah, I do agree. Next one on here, ABEO. Let's see what we got going on. We are down 5% on this one, 4.8 million shares traded. Lower price stock, Aviana Therapeutics. It just looks messy. I don't like it for myself. Peter, I'm not sure if that's something you're interested in.
No, I'm not. These biotechs, right? I usually just avoid the biotech scene. In this case, they actually got, I'm not sure why it's gapping down as it is. They had some good news this morning. They got a FDA approval for their Zivaskin, which is a cell-based gene therapy. So I don't know. I thought approval would be good. Not sure why they're gapping down.
Yeah. Don't like it. We'll leave it alone as well. GM pulling their guidance like many other companies have, right? So they're not a great trader, Peter, but maybe today we'll get some stuff going.
I don't know. That feels like a stretch. Like, I've tried to watch both General Motors and Ford even when they've had really big news, and they're still very tough to trade. So They were on the earnings. Right? They're one of the ones I was watching. They had a good quarter actually, which is a little bit of a surprise. They beat on revenue by about $1.5 billion, and they beat on earnings. And yet they're gapping down, and this happens a lot with GM, where the news can be good, and they still go the opposite direction, or the news can be bad and they gap up. So I don't know. They did follow the trend of pulling their guidance though, so it could be a reaction to that, where they said, look, tariffs are going to impact them heavily, and we know that, right? We've been talking about tariffs. The automotive industry has been a big focus of tariffs because of how global their supply chains are, right? And how many times different elements of a vehicle pass over borders. So not a surprise that they've called off their guidance, and I assume it's that concern that is causing them to gap down, because otherwise they had a good quarter.
All right, there we go. I want to put them on my secondary list just to see what's happening there. Again, like you said, it's a stretch for them to trade well. They normally do not, but maybe today they could be their day. But again, we'll see. All right, last but not least, I'm seeing some comments here on Amazon. Amazon making our list this morning down 2%. And I see you guys talking about Bezin. Make some comments on Amazon. Well, what's going on there? What's the latest and greatest? If I look at the charts right now, we're down 2.2. 1.1 million shares traded, and this thing just started to do this like about 10-15 minutes ago. So Peter, not sure if I had a chance to catch up on what's driving Amazon down this morning.
The war of the billionaires. Yes, the billionaire war continues. So Amazon, I don't know how to say it. Kipper, Kuipr. How do you say that? Kuiper? Anyways, I'll just call him Kipper. They're launching satellites. They're taking on Starlink. So I don't is there going to be any room in space anymore? Like, we're launching so many satellites. So if they're putting up a competitive internet provider, satellite-based internet provider to compete with Starlink, they're going to be like, they're gonna mount lasers on their satellites just to shoot down the Starlink ones, and then we're really gonna have Star Wars. Pew, 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 pew. I don't know. But anyways, Amazon launched their first internet satellites, and it's it seems like I said, there's gonna be so much garbage floating around up there. Anyways. There are, I love how, like, Amazon's always got so much news, right? You ever wanted to buy like a Russian car? Well, you can now buy Skodas using on Amazon directly. So
Nice.
So there you go.
Nice. I'm seeing some comments here. Amazon showing tariffs on each product is a hostile and political act. Oh, are they doing that? I just bought something on Amazon yesterday. I did not see that. So I got to check. Is that for non-Prime customers? Better get a Prime
Amazon
account if that's the case.
Cost of a hostile act. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I haven't seen that.
They did mention that. That's another piece of news that came out. So what they're going to do is they're actually going to they're going to break out the price, right? So sometimes they would show you the taxes separately. They're purposely going to say, hey, here's the cost of the product. It's, I don't know, $10. And there's a $6 tariff on it or whatever. Like, so we'll see how that plays out. They're obviously trying to make a point out of that. It's again, what does it mean? Is it a political statement? Are they just trying to help customers be aware? I mean, they're going to couch it in a way that they think is beneficial for them. But and it's a good point, right? Like, it's one of these things now where they are there are tariffs on all sorts of products today, and we don't necessarily see them. They're built into the price. Admittedly, this new, the Trump tariff era is much more sudden and extreme than the tariff regime we've been used to for decades and decades. So, it's a little bit of a shock to the system, but it is an interesting move that they said we're going to break it out and put it right up in there. So we'll see what happens. Have they started to do that? Did they say when? I didn't see in the thing when. I want to go and now look and just see. Can I find an Amazon product that's like going to show me a?
Yes, that's interesting. I mean, that's a little far. saying that this is a hostile political, that's a little bit much. I don't think that's the
I
case. I
don't.
mean, I want to know what I'm paying for. It's like the airlines. The airlines tell you how much you're paying for and how much it's breaking down for taxes. It's I don't see the issue.
Look, it's a strange world we live in, right? When just product pricing becomes, a political act. So
Yeah.
it's a debate, right? Some people will call it, as is being said in the chat room. Some people will call it transparency and honesty. Others are going to call it, an act of aggression. And I don't know what's right. It it's happening anyway. So that's the news.
Yeah.
Amazon is obviously they're dropping because of their combination again of this, and I think their launch of satellites, which puts them in direct competition with Starlink. So we'll see how all of this goes. It's
Yeah.
it's an interesting world out there.
We'll definitely see. My good buddy Norm is saying Timu or Temu, I don't know how you say it, is doing it now. Yeah, I could see them doing it because their product is like $5, and now if you're paying
Yeah.
instead of $5, you're paying 30 or whatever. I'm exaggerating. Yeah, you want to let them know that yes, it's only still $5, so you're getting something that's very cheap. Don't expect it to be
Well,
$30
and
worth. I expect them to do it, but
right. Well, and Carlos, that brings up an interesting point, right? So Amazon doing this could be in reaction to Temu, whatever the heck they are, doing it, and it could be a competitive thing for them, right? To demonstrate the fact that maybe their product pricing isn't higher than their competition. It's
yeah,
it's only higher because of the tariff impact, right? And or they want to demonstrate, the fact that they are competitive. I don't know. Again, it's a weird world in which we're talking about you know buying products and all the weird crap you can buy online, and suddenly this becomes all a political acts. So I don't know. I just sit here in Canada. We're just trying to mind our own business. But
all right, here we
anyways,
go.
so we'll see where it goes. Again, look, Amazon feels like it's in play today. I think with the volume, and look how much it's dropped in the last just
Yeah,
20,
yeah.
30 minutes here. So, yeah, I think it's worth putting on a list, one way or the other. No matter what you think of it, one way or the other, it's in play. It's making
Yeah, yeah,
Amazon.
it's in play whether you agree with it or not. It's in play. Listen, there's been worse things, right? Imagine the people trading when disasters happen, trading against the companies when after disaster happens. That is brutal. This is not like this. Is very easy. We could trade this with no problem, regardless of what side you're on. All right, Peter, let's jump
Carlos?
into. Yep,
Sorry, just in the chat room, Avi just
yep.
chimed in. We got to find Avi a new favorite product, man, because he's talking about his leather jacket again. Avi, were you here the other day
Yeah,
when Carlos put his on? He
I
put
have
on
it.
his leather jacket,
I got
and
my Timu $30
yeah,
leather jacket.
you
Yeah,
you you
looks good on
you made some
camera. You can't
style.
tell. You can't tell on
I,
camera. I could say, hey, it's 150. I paid for this. You know, off of
what are
Nordstrom,
you saying
right?
though? You can't tell on camera. Like in person, is it like a whole different story?
Just don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Just don't
Touch, don't
don't
touch
touch
it.
it.
I
Look,
will.
but don't touch.
I will
That's
only.
good
I
advice.
wouldn't wear it. I wouldn't wear it in the daytime. If I'm gonna go out with that thing, I'm gonna wear it to like in the nighttime. In the club, and just don't touch my
I
jacket, man.
see.
You can't tell.
It's like going to the club, right? Everything looks good when you're under the
Everything looks
flashing
good.
lights. As soon as they turn on the
Oh,
lights, if you make it to the end of the night, you do not want to
yeah.
see what that club looks like under bright
Uh,
lights. Yeah.
exactly. Don't touch it. Don't take it
Okay.
out in the sun. Don't take it out in the rain. You'll be fine. All right.
Okay.
Let's get to our community events and announcement, guys, of what's happening on this beautiful Tuesday. Let's go over here. Yeah, Tuesday. There we go. Peter.
All right. Hopefully, my mic will hold up there, and we won't get the chop. But we do have our strategy and tradebook sessions. You can see them listed on the screen here. Everything from our 11 and 12 o'clock sessions. This is all for our elite members today, by the way. So. And they can take advantage of the small account options session at 11, the bookmap session with Nathan, which focuses on that bookmap tool. Excellent tool for viewing market volumes. It's one of those that is interesting to understand. I don't use it myself, but I love when people share it in the room. But there are moderators like Thor who use it quite actively. Then we've got Avi's also doing a. Wait, what's happening? I'm
What's
confused.
taking
Oh no,
place?
that's next week. That's
Okay.
next week. Oh no, is it this? What's happened? Wait a second. We've got two webinars here scheduled at the same time in the same place. Who knows what's happening here? Is Avi doing applying the fractal pattern webinar at noon, or is Nathan doing his bookmap session? Somebody help. Avi's
Yeah.
saying the webinar's today, so okay. Avi,
Oh,
you
well,
might
this
have
is
to.
11. I think this is 11. This
Yeah, but look next
is
to it.
12. Oh, over here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
See,
that
you
doesn't
got a
add
problem.
up.
All right, Avi
Oh no,
wins.
this is 12.
He's
This
going
is
to wear the
12
leather
too.
jacket.
Peter,
He's going to wear
11,
the
and this
leather
is
jacket, and he
and
will
this is
out-cool
12, right?
Nathan and take over the room. So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't think
but
it's a
Avi's
problem
thing is
here.
also at noon. Avi's thing is also at noon. That's what
Oh,
I'm
this one and
getting
this one.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta figure that
Anyway,
out.
all
All
right.
right,
Avi,
we'll see
we're,
what's
we're
happening.
giving him the control. Avi's in control. He's doing his webinar. So our normal webinar, which would happen in the evening, Avi's going to be doing it at noon because by 8 o'clock in the evening, it's like some ungodly hour in where he is. So, anyways, it'll be noon o'clock for Avi. He'll be in the webinar room doing his webinar on pattern strategy for structured setups. It's his expertise. It's well worth listening to. So he'll be doing that. And next week, Megan will be back at regular time to do her webinar at 8 p.m. And that'll solve all the confusion. So sorry about that. But anyway, so 11 o'clock, we do have Phil. And then at noon, we've got Avi, who's going to be leading. So there you go. That's what we got today. If you want to join us in the chat room, you know where to go. BearableTraders.com. Take a look at the options. There's a bunch of them there. You can join just the chat room. You could join the boot camp, which is the P Capital Trading Boot Camp, which is a great place to just dive in deep and get really focused on your trading over the next 3 months. If you're interested in that, check out the Platinum offer. You also get that funded account where if you are successful in trading that effectively, you can make money off the deal. But again, don't do it for that reason. Do it for the training. If you think it's worthwhile, go check it out. All right, we're running a little bit late here, so let's get to setting some levels. I'll let you know what our moderators are watching, and then we're going to live trading as we get to, we're only 13 minutes away from the opening bell.
Yep, absolutely, friends. Let's take a look here. Some of the stuff we're watching. Let's start with HIMS. It's on deck. I actually have HIMS and NVO. I'm not sure which one of these is going to be the best one to look at. Again, HIMS with the volume, NVO still looking, well, still got volume, but not better than HIMS at the moment. So we'll do levels for both, and then we'll decide which one we look at. Maybe we do look at both. We'll see. I have the pre-market on this one. 65.40 will slam a level there. Above that, we do have a level of 66.82, and then slightly above that, we do have 68.45. So there we go. That's towards the top, and then right in the middle of the highs and lows of the day, we do have an area right at 64.16. So you got a couple of days slamming into that. Might as well put a level there just in case. Even in the pre-market, you can see here where we're just kind of testing that level in the pre-market as well. So definitely want to have that there off the daily. Next, we're going to have HIMS. Let's take a look at HIMS. HIMS this morning. Sorry, that was NVO we did? Yeah, it was NVO. So HIMS this morning up nicely up here, 34%. Was as high as 44 when I saw it earlier today. 42.72 is the high of the pre-market. If we zoom to the left here, we're going to get a level on the daily of 45.41, and then all the way up here at 51.06. So those are your levels for today on HIMS towards the top. Towards the bottom, the pre-market low is kind of wrapped itself around the previous day close, so you're well taken care of there. And also the highs and lows for the last two trading days. Within this high and low of the pre-market, we do have some good daily levels we got to mark down here. 33.76, clearly here you can see a lot of action going on there. And then above that, we do have 36.34 as well, another area with a lot of touches as well on the daily. So plenty of stuff there. Actually, you know what? You have another one up here as well. And you can even see in the pre-market, 38.70. I know it's a lot of levels, but hey, that's what happens when you go from 28 to 42 in a matter of seconds here or minutes. 38.70 is another area on the daily that you're also seeing some reaction happening in the pre-market as well. So you want to mark those both in case the price action is going to respect them at the market open. So that's HIMS, that's NVO. SoFi is going to be on our list today. Normally not something we keep on deck, but today looks good. We're going to be watching this one. High of the pre-market 14.46 towards the bottom. Low of the pre-market 12.64. And if we look at the daily here and we could go to the left, another level around 13. 1367 we'll call it, so we'll slam one there. That looks good. And then above the pre-market high is a great level actually at 1493. So a couple of levels to the top and bottom there on SoFi. They do have some great volume this morning, 18 million shares traded. We are up 6.7 this morning on this one. Next we have Amazon. So Amazon on deck. We didn't look at Tesla, or we didn't look at Apple or Nvidia. We'll do that after the market open here. Let's get through some of this stuff, and then we'll take a look at that. 180.55, good level towards the bottom there on Amazon. Another great daily level at 175.65. Again, getting a overreaction. I think this is overreacting to this. If that's the news, the tariff stuff, that's a little bit overreaction. 182.97 is the low of the pre-market, 182.89 to be exact. And let's see here towards the top, we're looking at a 189 as the high of the pre-market. Above that, we have some levels up here. It's going to be 192.91, and then all the way up here 198.31 on Amazon. And again, I really like Amazon because I think this is just, I don't know. Seems like an overreaction to me, Peter, but we'll see. That is our list for today. Tell us what everybody else is watching.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't think it's the act of them showing the tariffs. I think it's the response from those that are saying it's an act of terrorism that is getting the drop here. But hey, overreaction or not, it's causing the stock to move, and that creates tradable opportunities. So I need to make a correction from earlier. I think I mistakenly identified the country. Skoda is actually a Czech Republic car company. I always forget that Lada is a Russian one. Skoda is Czech Republic, although Skoda these days is owned.
Is that what was happening? Because people were typing, I guess I missed when you said that comment, but people were typing Russia, 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 and our blockers just blocked everything Russia. I'm like, okay, Russia's not a bad word. Come on, okay. YouTube, relax. Everything Russia was being blocked. I'm like, why are you blocking this? So if your comment is not showing up, it's not you. It's YouTube thinks that Russia's like, I don't know, like a bad word. Like it's not a 4-letter word.
Stop saying it.
No, keep saying. I'm gonna keep saying Russia, Russia. We're probably gonna get banned, but come on, stop being so sensitive, YouTube. That's probably why you're getting choppy. Yeah, you're probably being reported right now to the U.S. CIA agency.
I'll be on a watch list.
You are on the watch list. Good luck traveling. Get there like 5 hours before. Trust me.
Anyways, all right. So Skoda, yes, is a Czech Republic company owned by Volkswagen these days. But anyways, look, we've got lots of trading opportunities out there. Keep an eye on it. And I want to say hello to Norm. There's sort of a love fest going on as people realize the Norm who was talking is Norm, is like our Norm, meaning the Norm who used to sit in this chair and do this job for many years. So hello, Norm.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right, guys, let's take a look at what our moderators are watching. We'll start with Lenny, who's watching NVIDIA, Tesla, SoFi, and HIMS. Nathan's in with his list, watching the Magnificent Seven and AMD. Thor's going to be watching Amazon, Tesla, Apple, AMD, and Microsoft. Megan's going to be watching Tesla, PayPal, and Apple. Jared going to be focusing in on PLTR and HIMS. We haven't actually talked about PLTR today, although we were having a love fest with it all day yesterday. It is a great trading stock. It's really jumped to the top of our list. It had a great moves yesterday. And anyways, Jared's got it on his list. He's also going to be watching Amazon, PayPal, and UPS. Pierre is going to be watching PLTR, NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, and HIMS. Avi is going to be watching his leather jacket with loving eyes. Brian's going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, Amazon, PLTR, and HIMS. Brendan going to be watching NVIDIA, Apple, SoFi, Amazon, and PLTR. Paris watching PLTR, Tesla, HIMS, PayPal, and Spotify. Phil, last but not least, watching NVIDIA, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, PLTR, and the market overall. So we've got our people in with their votes. You can see Carlos's list at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to stick to my usuals. I am going to be throwing UPS, I think, just to see if it does anything interesting. I think, I'm a glutton for punishment maybe, but I'll watch PayPal just to see if it does anything fun there. And, of course, Amazon, since it had that early move, we'll see if it can continue. I don't know. It feels like it's sort of leveled out here right now with the volume dropping. Maybe the fun's over already, but we'll see when the opening bell rings, which is going to happen in just about 5.5 minutes from now. So hopefully you're picking your list and identify the stocks that you think you want to focus on and trade. Our live traders are coming into the chat room. Carlos and I are going to continue on YouTube, and we'll take you through this open. And let's hope we get some good trading. So trade smart, whatever you do, guys, and let's have a good day out there.
Yep, absolutely. All right, see Brian's all connected. We're gonna mute there and continue over on YouTube. All right, perfect, YouTube friends. Let's get this rocking and rolling. So I'm disconnected from chat. Brian is going to be trading here, I believe, with Andrew or maybe Thor. I'm not sure, but nevertheless, let's get ready. Let's get a chart set here. 5 minute. We'll get our 1 minute up and running up here on Amazon. Just think I put a level by mistake here. Let me delete this. Hold on a second, guys. Here we go. Delete this one. Perfect. All right, let's get ready for the market open. Gonna update my list. And
all right, my 5-minute alarm went off, by the way. I was on mute. You probably didn't hear that. Switching over my platform here, getting my
doing the same
trading stuff going here. I'll put PayPal, I'll put UPS up over here. I don't know if they're going to do anything interesting, but I'll keep an eye on them.
Yep.
SoFi. Maybe I should watch SoFi today.
Yeah, I have it on here. Again, just my list this morning is, you look at this, you would think it's somebody else's list. Typically not the stuff I watch, but let's see. HIMS, NVO, SoFi, Amazon. Let's talk about Tesla. Good buddy Tesla here. How are we doing today? And again, good volume, pretty flat for the most part. So, but I think Tesla's one that you always got to watch. So I'm going to add Tesla as well. I don't want to watch both of these. I don't want to watch HIMS and NVO at the same time. So let me bring one down. We got to adjust that. So HIMS looks very interesting. NVO. I think I'm going to go with HIMS. The volume is just so much better on this thing. Again, NVO can trade well. I'm going to put it down on a secondary list, and I'm going to move, keep HIMS on the main list. So let's do that. And I'm going to leave room for, obviously, our good buddy Tesla, and we can also do NVIDIA. The two that are always on our list here every morning.
Spot. Yeah.
All right, it was good to see Norm in chat, man. It was good to see Norm there.
Yeah, I know.
I know sometimes he's on, he doesn't say anything, but today I think that the comment of the park with the Dominican talk got him going. he couldn't resist. Got him talking. He had to say something. His comment was like, "You should see, I must be Dominican. You should see the way I coach the kids." So yeah, there we go. HIMS, NVO, SoFi, Amazon, and Tesla. Go ahead, Peter.
You know, it's funny. It's always a shame when the cultural stereotypes, which are just an observation of trends, become a negative thing, right? And are used aggressively. Yeah. But you know, I experience it's like the culture shock, especially if you have a mixed, mixed race family. So for me, you know, like my family, for instance, if you set a time, the people, you know, tell them to be here for dinner at 6, they will be here for dinner at 6. Whereas my wife's family, we've learned if you want them here for dinner at 6, tell them to be here for 4:30. So, you know, and maybe they'll get here by 6, and that's reality. It's what it is. So, time is relative in Haiti, apparently. So, all right, I'm getting ready for the open, Carlos. We're looking at blank charts again.
Yeah. Let me get you here. Here we go.
There we go. All right, we got something going on. Yeah, I'm definitely watching Amazon. It's interesting. Again, the drop here was not really related to. It doesn't seem to be related to the actions they've directly taken, whether it's their launch of satellites or they're demonstrating the tariffs. It's the reaction to it. For instance, the White House press secretary saying that it was considered an act of. They didn't say terrorism. They said aggression, I guess. So. We'll see what happens when the opening bell rings. That was my 1 minute warning alarm, so we'll see what happens. NVIDIA gapping down a little bit this morning, looking weak in the pre-market, but that doesn't mean much with NVIDIA these days. So see where it goes. Tesla looking pretty innocuous here, not really having moved much. In fact, the 8 a.m. tinfoil line brackets the current price action, so I actually like days when it looks like that. It gives me some levels to play off of. Put some lines here. See what Tesla does. All right. About 5 seconds away from the opening bell. Getting ready to go here. And there you have it. I think I've lost Carlos.
No, no, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, he's still here. Okay, good. Just making sure. I wasn't sure if you were frozen or not. Okay, guys.
No,
The
good,
opening
good.
bell, as you heard. We're going to wait and see what happens here a little bit. I'm just really uncertain about this market today. I don't know which direction we're going to go. Yesterday, like we were talking about, yesterday had sort of a good, sort of good close. It didn't. I mean, it didn't close higher by any stretch, but it didn't close as weak as it could have. So, yeah, we'll see.
All right, let's see here.
Yeah, see, here's NVIDIA doing its NVIDIA thing. Here's Amazon.
NVIDIA. All right, let's take a look.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this news on Amazon, so I'm torn about which way to trade it. Being that it had that big drop, I normally look for a pop up and a further drop, but I'm thinking, what if they feel it's a buying opportunity and this is overstated and Amazon's going to go back up to yesterday's close? So I don't want to get caught in this. I don't know what it's doing, so I'm going to leave it alone. Tesla's got its customary pop higher. We'll see whether it can hold it today or not. NVIDIA also popping higher.
Okay. There you go. Amazon going north. I have such a big bias on Amazon. I think this is such an overreaction. I'm dying to break my rule and go long right now on Amazon because it's like, really, this is so sensitive, this news, man. Wow. But let's see. If I didn't have this rule, Peter, I would have been long on Amazon a long time ago. But the rules are the ruals.
The rules are the
rules, man. Can't break them even to make money.
They're your rules.
Yeah. Yep. Look, it's gonna go. This is easy money on Amazon right now, and I never say that, but today I'm gonna say easy money on Amazon for those that got in long. I have never said that on this show in the 6 years that we've been doing this, 7 years. But easy money on Amazon. That's how strong my bias is on this thing. After reading that headline.
That's a definite bias going on there.
Oh yeah, I'll let you know very clearly it's a bias, but hopefully you went long on Amazon. Right out of the gates. Gapping down 2% because of tariff on a price tag. Come on. My goodness. What is this world coming to?
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, my God. All right. Tesla heading north as well. We got SoFi. A little bit choppy right now. Let's see here. Wow, NVO dropping. Yeah, some profit taking HIMS as well. HIMS looks really clean. I would love to see a pullback here. Maybe her 5-minute opening range there. All right, let's see if we get a pullback on HIMS. Seems very weak. I mean, this is still 25%, but obviously some profit taking happening here on HIMS. Does not look like it wants to pull back, though. It looks like it wants to just keep on going. Amazon already has made a great move, 183 to 185. Let's see what's next here.
NVIDIA is pushing higher here pretty aggressively.
Oh, tip his toes into the green territory.
Yeah, just touched it.
Yep. If it can
I did
hold
something bad.
VWAP, could be a good long. Say again, Peter?
I played squash last night with my brother-in-law, which I normally do on Mondays, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, Murphy's Law. I've like hurt. I pulled like the tendon in my heel or something.
Peter, are you kidding me? You're like going away to do this marathon. You shouldn't be
Uh,
playing a pickleball until you get back.
well, this was squash, but
Oh,
anyways,
squash.
but
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
But you're right.
man.
Normally, pickleball's what I put. But I'm like, I got to live my life. I figured I just keep doing the things I'm doing it. And anyways, of course, Murphy's Law. I'm hoping it'll be okay. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel that
Yeah.
bad. Just sore this morning. I'm limping around the house.
Ah, man,
I was
that's
going to go
brutal.
for a run this morning, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to let it heal. I won't make it worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
All right, so NVIDIA lost the VWAP. No longer looking for long unless we can regain the VWAP here. But that didn't look so pretty. Good rejection off the previous day close, coming back down. Amazon
very
also
aggressive
turning around.
rejection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right to it. I have a feeling that today is not going to be a good day. It might not be a good start. Might not be a good start. So it might not be a good start.
Yeah, it doesn't. The day can actually change profile very quickly. I would agree. So
Yeah, yep.
let's not judge yet. Of course, it depends on what your trading style. If all you trade are opening range breakups, then yeah, you may
Yeah.
already be saying not a good day. But for someone like myself, I'm like, well, the opportunities are maybe just beginning.
Yep, yep. Let's see here. All right, what do we have?
All right, no trades for me. I'm still just watching, waiting for an opportunity. PayPal's gone red momentarily here. See if it can
Your
hold
volume's
yesterday's close.
your mic's getting a lot better, man. That's good. Actually, no, I'm gonna.
I don't know
There's no
what
point in
happened.
sharing my screen in chat. I'm gonna turn that off to save bandwidth.
Yeah, let me know, guys, if my we know Yama, we know you have no trades. All right, fair, fair. I resemble that remark.
Oh, Amazon could be a nice short now. Let's see there, breaking down to the VWAP. Could be a good engulfing 5 minute here. Let's see. Let's see here. Friends over on YouTube, if you haven't done so, take an opportunity to hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it. Either way, whether you hit the button or not, but when you do, it shows it, and we appreciate that. So thank you. SoFi battling against 1446. It's set up
Yeah,
for a good
very
5 minute
choppy
ORB
prices.
though. That could be a nice breakout, Peter. If it can get going here, but it is choppy right now. Look at all the wicks up here. Oh no, it's not. No, that price action is pretty bad actually. Oh, Tesla. Nvidia right here below the VWAP. Amazon short. Yeah, I'm liking some of these shorts here on Amazon. Also, Nvidia looks actually a little bit better. If we're gonna go short today. Can we get a pullback to the VWAP? Will be good. How about for you, Peter? Anything on your end?
Nothing. I was watching Amazon for a short, but I was trying to figure out if I actually saw it short or if it was just my bias. But
Yeah, like we're breaking through the VWAP, and I would like a pullback, but we're not getting it on some of these. Like
well,
Nvidia
that's
still has the
that's the
best risk to
stronger move
reward.
if we Yeah, if we get a pullback to the underside of that VWAP and then again another rejection, that
Yeah.
would be a good sign. Let's see, maybe it's happening now.
Yeah. I'm
All
looking at
depends on what the
Nvidia.
market is doing too.
All right, let's go short Nvidia. So I think that's the best pullback we're gonna get there. Let's see if we can break this area here and get at least to the low of the day. It's a win. Let's see. Let's see if we're short is in the. Now Amazon was easy money, man. I mean, you go from 180 to 185. That's a $2 move. What else do you want? That's easy money. Now don't stick around for it to come back to your to your break even point. But that's easy money, man. That was too clean. All right, so here it is. I'm short Nvidia above the V up. I'll stop out. We'll get back in a little bit later. So yeah, let's get out of it. It's not looking good. Or are we gonna reject here? Let me not be too fast. What's the plan here? We're rejecting. We're a dollar into the red here. Yeah, dollar and a half. We could wait a little bit more before we have to bail. I don't want this thing doing what it did to me yesterday. Did this, stopped me out, and it shot down really aggressive. So I'm gonna be a little bit patient here. No, this is going long. We gotta get out. This is going long. We gotta get out. So stop out in Nvidia, guys, above the VWAP here. It is. Don't be messy like yesterday, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then what we did, if you noticed yesterday was a very bad start, but then the day got so much better after 10:30, like a beautiful drop towards the downside. So,
Yep.
Okay, let me see. Let's see what Nvidia does here. So I'm still watching Nvidia. First trade stopped out here. Let's see if we can get something going. I don't want to take it long because I don't know. Doesn't look great for long.
I don't know what it's doing.
Long pony. What is pony doing?
You'll
You're long
pony.
here. Let's see. Maybe back to VWAP could be an opportunity. If previous day close was not here, I would have taken this long, but I don't like the fact that the previous day close is just right there. Risk to reward is not ideal on Nvidia. Amazon could be a better choice. Or are we gonna get stuck in chop until 10:30 like we did yesterday? Not sure. I put GM on our list, but man, pure garbage GM. So that's not looking good. All right, the pony's working for you. Whoever took pony long, that is working out pretty good there. A, B, E, O. No, I'm not good at these lower price stocks. So not something I like here. Why is Google dropping so much?
Yeah, Google's dropping a couple of bucks here, but
Seems clean. Yeah, not so much, but it's dropping clean. Looks like here. Nvidia long. I mean, it looks like it wants to go to previous day close. I just don't like the way it's set up there. Oh, we gotta wait. Amazon. Who's trading with Brian?
and Brian seems to be having a quiet day. Or at least I'm not sure what he's.
Yeah, I can tell. I know he's looking at PLTR. Wow, we forgot to look at PLTR. That could be interesting. Let's take a look here at.
Let's put some headphones on. I forgot.
Wow, what happened?
Oh, I just got to get my.
Let's see. Amazon. PLTR. Oh, we did not mention PLTR today. PLTR. That, man, good call. Who called this out? This is our move here. Who called that out? That looks nice. But again, I don't like this previous day close line here. I do not like. But this is our move.
Yeah,
Breakout, bounce.
PLTR is sitting in a no man's land. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like this. I do like the 5-minute too. It looks bullish, but this previous day close line is tough. But this is that looks good, Peter. I think I'm gonna go try this long. Let's try this long. I like this move here. I don't like the previous day close line. Let's see if we can push higher. Stop loss below 114. This is a risky trade. Huh?
Say it again? Went green.
It did, right? Look at that. That is nice. That is nice. All right, let me put PLTR on my list. So we'll add it here. And let me put it down here as well. PLTR. LTR on the list as well. Let's see. Let's see if we could break out on PLTR. Again, below 114, we'll get out of it. We did pop up a little bit, 114.88. 5-minute looks interesting. And let's see if we can get going. NVIDIA, awesome stuff. Tesla bouncing back. Amazon, it looks like things want to go green. Amazon's had a good risk to reward, so that could be an opportunity there if you have it in your trade book to possibly go long there. NVO is just garbage. This is not getting no volume whatsoever. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Let's get rid of that one. HIMS is giving some of the stuff back as well, so not looking too hot there. But yeah, let's see what we get here. No chop colors, just short it now. Which one you shorted? Got a bad entry on PLTR, stopped out at break even. Okay, long or short? BM is balance. What's BM? Oh no, you mean something else. What's BM? What does that stand for?
Body mass?
Bookmap. Bookmap? I think I got it. Bookmap?
Could be. Bookmap?
Only I don't use Bookmap, but oh, look at NVIDIA, friends. Let's go. Ding, 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 ding. This thing is just rocking. Vowel movement? Yeah, you better tell us what BM is, David, before we get out of control with what we're thinking.
Yeah, there's a lot of BMs out there, aren't there?
There's a lot of BMs, yeah. Bad manners, baby mama. I mean,
baby mama. My wife hates it when I use that term.
Oh yeah, she doesn't like it. Yeah. Let's see here. SQQ popping. I have to record. I have a record of not making profit on PLTR. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a tough one. I actually have done really good on PLTR. Some of my very decent trades have been on PLTR because if it goes, it tends to trend well, but the price action like here could be messy. It'll have a great trending chart, but the intra price action on these candles is really messy, like it is right now. Look how messy it is right now, and it can still get to the high of the day doing it in a messy way. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but we see that from PLTR a lot. Their price action is not clean. They're very up and down and can be very choppy. So just look at the way it's trading now. See that? Like up, down, then up, back up. It's not your regular AMD, NVIDIA, Tesla type moves. Big Mama Bulls. We actually have a Big Mama in chat. We have a Big Mama Bulls in chat. So there you go.
Oh.
Batmobile. But David Men's book map. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. How can you not want to hang out and trade live with this amazing group of people? Come on. This can be very boring, but you guys make it fun. So that's awesome. POTR struggling with the previous day close. I don't like that because what happens is, let's say if the Qs start to turn down a little bit, that's going to put pressure on POTR or just the overall market to go lower, and I need it to go higher. So that's not good. Qs at the previous day close just tapped it, and see, that could be good for us there. What's happening with the Qs if it can get going? It's trying to break through. That can help our trade move higher, and it looks like it wants to. Maybe not.
Let's hope it does for you. Come on.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Love the move here, though. This move is, as you guys know me well. Whoever called this out, that was nice, because that's our move there to go long. Bookmap turning bullish on POTR, man. Thank God I don't use Bookmap because I don't see that. So I'm gonna trade what I have here, because then that'll scare me and make me get out of my trade if I'm looking at an indicator that I don't use. So let's see. Let's hope that it's wrong in this case, and it can turn red a little bit later. Tesla. Let's see Tesla here. What a great reversal on Tesla back to VWAP, guys. That was pretty neat. Pretty neat. And someone took, what was it? Was it Pony? Some of you guys took Pony long. That worked out. Look at that. 940 to 1017. So you guys call that out. That's good. A lot of stuff coming back. And there was another one, AVEO. AVEO, you guys called out. Didn't really move much. Struggling. So, all right, and PLTR is rejecting here. We don't want it going below the VWAP there. 114 is our stop. We'll bail on it if it gets to 114. So we'll see. Just struggling. This previous day close line is giving us a really hard time. Amazon struggling too. It's above the VWAP, but it is struggling to go higher. We might just be in this chop like we did yesterday too. I mean, yesterday we had this chop for like the first hour, and then the market just started trending so nicely. AMT, what's AMT? What is this? AMT. Yeah, this looks good now, but the problem with this is I normally don't trace, like, look at the volume, guys. The volume is very, very low. So you really have to have a strategy that works for this, and my strategy doesn't work for this. POTR is right at my stop here, 114. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, got a little flush. See if we can get a little better exit on this. If I get out here, are you gonna flush? Are you gonna go higher? Did you come to stop me out? You came to stop me out.
It's not personal, Carlos.
It is not personal. I agree. It looks
It
short.
might feel like it some days.
Yeah. I'm going to bail on this. Yeah, I'm getting out. Come on. What are you doing? Yeah, it's going to go low. It's going to go lower. Talk to me, PLTR. Don't do what you've been doing to me. Come down here and get me out of the trade. Why are you doing that? Why are you coming down like that?
Why you got to be like that?
Why you gotta, if you shoot up above 114, I'm gonna be so pissed, because why are you doing this? Testing our discipline like this is unacceptable. Okay, we'll get out. It's just so choppy. Yeah. Wow, another red trade. Man, I'm having a rough week. I went from 2 amazing weeks to a rough start to this week. If Carlos doesn't short NVIDIA, it's a strategy. What's going on with NVIDIA?
Keep in mind, guys. Sorry, we're just over 5 minutes away from the JOLTS job opening numbers coming out. So Um, if you're in a trade, be aware. If you're not, you might want to think twice before jumping in because JOLTS can either help or hurt you depending which way it goes. So, buyer
Uh,
beware.
this is like everywhere now. This thing is becoming like a big deal. I'm gonna go on Amazon right now to see what was like. I'm getting like alerts from Bloomberg and all these other places on this hostile thing. Let me see. Let me go buy something
So like, yeah, buy like a
from.
bath caddy or some
Yeah, it's got to be
ridiculous
from China though. It's got to be
product.
from China,
Yeah,
right? Because the tariff wouldn't apply to anything in the U.S. Let's see here.
thinking you gotta buy some like weird plastic product because I don't see it here, but I get the Canadian version. So.
Yeah, this must be. I just checked like three and they don't have it, so it must be stuff that's really specific. Let me see. Buy now.
Foam cases? Try a foam case. What comes directly from China?
There's nothing on here.
Hmm.
Regular tax. I mean, so I guess you really got to find a specific product that they're doing that in. Um, let's see here. Uh, yeah, yeah, it's tough week, but it's a tough week for the market open, right? For example, look at Tesla yesterday. This is beautiful. This is amazing. Look at this double bottom, double, am I writing on the right screen? Nope, over here. I mean, this is excellent. So the first hour and a half, yes, brutal. But then look at this beautiful drops, right? And look at this comeback. So I think it's just the market open. And then for me, an opening range trader, this is very, very tough. So look at Amazon, same thing, beautiful drop yesterday. SoFi, and we see that where opposed to this, right? This for me does very well. But when you have it where you're going sideways the first couple of hour or two, that's just brutal. This was Tesla. This is good. Look at Tesla the other day on the 25th, a couple of days ago. So it is the last 2 days as far as opening range have been pretty bad. Amazon, our easy money stock is going long. It's gonna go higher. Tesla off the Nvidia off the VWAP here in the previous day close. What would be the strategy?
Yeah, I don't know, guys. Keep in mind, 2.5 minutes now away from the JOLTS job numbers coming out. So
Yeah, we gotta wait for that before we take any
caution,
trades.
caution is warranted.
Yep. Because I don't want to get caught in any type of flush. All right, Thor trading in chat with Brian. Has Thor taken any trades today? I think he's long. NQ looks like he's long. PLTR. I hope PLTR stays put here. Because it's going up again. It could be a good long, but I'm not going in before this jobs number report. We gotta wait for that. We're gonna get some crazy price actions here.
I agree. Gotta wait. PayPal hanging out just below a previous day close. Not.
Did PayPal have earnings or their earnings coming up?
Yeah. No, they had earnings.
They had earnings? Oh, this stock has become so bad, Peter.
Yeah, the volume's really dropped off here. Like it didn't last
What
very long.
happened to it? We used to trade this a lot. It actually was great in earnings up, but now it looks we don't not what we used to, yeah.
Not as great.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it's been like that the last couple of earnings. It's been pretty rough. So SoFi now. Now, as far as for what, really, Andy? Because I find it so hard to join something that's been trending down like this. Like even if you know you're gonna go lower here, it's hard.
All right. JOLTS job numbers coming out in 20 seconds.
All right, let's see.
Consumer confidence is the other number, by the way. So JOLTS job openings somewhere around 7.5 million. I see different numbers, 7.49, around that. And then the consumer confidence, again, it's a relative scale. 87.7 is the expected number, so higher would be good. Lower than that would be considered problematic.
There's the action.
Here we go. Okay, so job openings came out lower at 7.19 million versus 7.5, and the consumer confidence slightly lower at 86 versus 87.7. So there you go. Both numbers down. We can see the market immediately reacting with a push down. But we'll see. I mean, that's not that significantly off. The job numbers probably is more significant than the consumer confidence being down by about 300,000 jobs. We'll see. We'll see what the market does with it.
Yeah, yep. I don't see anything I like. Amazon not doing anything. Faison, your monitor came back to life. Did you lose your monitor for a second? Glad that you're good.
Every once in a while, I have that. I've got these weird things that happen. Like if I don't turn my speaker on in the right order, one of my monitors will go blank when I turn the speaker on, and I can't figure out why those two are related at all.
Are your speakers connected through the monitor or something? Or that's weird.
Nope. Yeah, it is weird.
That is very weird.
I have no idea. It's got to be something a short with their proximity on the circuit board or something. I don't know, because they're not plugged into each other or even physically close to each other. So I don't know.
Why is PLTR shooting up like that?
Computers, man. It's great when they work.
Looks like long is the name of the game right now. Things are shooting up here. Pull back, please. Numbers are settling in, so it looks like we're getting some kind of move to the upside. Except on SoFi. SoFi is struggling big time. Down, actually still up 4.3, but has given a lot of that back this morning and looks to want to go weaker too. Doesn't look good. The guy from Brazil, are you long PLTR? I want to get long in it too. I just think this stock can trade so well, but it is leaving me in the dust. PLTR did not pull back for us. Nvidia's gone. Amazon is not a. Amazon could be the best risk to reward, so I'm gonna go long Amazon because I want to go long here, but I think Amazon is the best one. Everything else seems to be too far gone for me to enter. So long Amazon. Let's see if we can get a pop up here. Volume is so bad though, so hopefully this can get going. But if you enter PLTR in this push, you're golden. If you enter PLTR, I came in too late, was already up here, so up here I can't enter here. It's just not good. Tesla at the previous day close. And let's see what else. Amazon. I'm in Amazon here because it's so close to the VF, so I like that. They haven't moved much, so if we're going to be long today, hopefully this can get going. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so far, 2 red trades for me on Amazon now. Let's see if Amazon could be the winner of the day. Let's see. Google long at 160. Wow. That's a great entry. Good job. 160 or dollar plus here above the VWAP. That is really, really nice. So good stuff. Peter, anything for you yet?
Nothing for me.
What you see. Yeah.
Nope. Not yet.
SOVV. What is that? No, I don't see that ticker. NVIDIA. What VWAP? Tesla. Wow. Heading towards the high of the day on Tesla. Long POTR and MSR. Yeah, POTR could be good here. Not now, but when it was below the previous day close. Let's squeeze POTR. Tesla doing his thing. Yeah, Tesla's gone. All right, I'm in Amazon. Let's see what happens.
Oh, you're in Amazon? No,
Yep.
you're in. Are you in Amazon?
I'm in Amazon. Yeah, I'm in Amazon. Yeah, POTR. It was too.
Yeah, don't look at
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not looking at it. But when I went to get in, it was PLTR.
Yeah,
I love
told
that
you
stock,
not to look
man.
at it.
I love that stock. Why don't I'm just gonna trade PLTR all day long. I just love the way it moves. Go ahead, Peter. You saying Thor?
Thor was just talking about. He said his daughter was very loud this morning and acting up, and he said now I haven't heard her for a while, and I'm getting really nervous because it's been too quiet. And anybody that has kids understands that, right? Like the kids are loud, and you get used to that, and then usually it's like a couple of minutes you realize, oh my god, I haven't heard anything for a while. There is no more panic than a parent that realize I have not heard my kids at all for 2 minutes.
Facts,
Right?
100%. You want to hear noise. You want to hear noise. The minute it goes quiet, you're like,
exactly.
what they're doing.
Like,
They're
you complain when they're screaming at each other or when they're doing whatever, and then when they are quiet, you're like, oh my god. So I got a great story. I'll keep it real short here. Great story. When my son was young, he was crawling around the house. He couldn't walk yet. He was just crawling. And we usually hear him, and he's doing things, and he's playing with things, and he's gurgling or whatever. And then my wife and I realized he was dead silent for a couple of minutes, and we didn't think about it because we were reading a book or whatever. Anyways, and we're like, "Oh my god, what's he into?" And we ran, and we found him sitting in the middle of the kitchen floor. He'd managed to get a kitchen cupboard open, and he'd found the deep fryer that we had left down there. We haven't used a deep fryer in years, but back in the day, you just keep a deep fryer with all the oil in it. Anyways, and it had the little crunchy bits of like French fries and stuff that end up in the bottom of the oil. He had dumped it all over the floor. So vegetable oil everywhere. He was chewing on the little crunchy bits, right? And he was having fun. Have you ever tried to watch a kid that is soaked in vegetable oil? Because of course the soap and the water just right like oil and water don't mix. Oh my god! Trying to give him a bath after that, he was happy. He was so happy. Yeah. And we just found him, and I run into the kitchen and almost killed myself because I'm like, and my feet go, and oh man, what a mess. Anyways, lesson learned.
Fun times.
Lock the kitchen cabinets.
Fun times.
Great story. Anyways, tales of being a parent. All right, Carlos, it looks like this is working for you. I like it.
Yes. I'm going to look for a partial at 186 if we can get there. We just touched it. Wow, look at Tesla. I think hopefully this move on Amazon is going to continue like the other ones are continuing here. You're getting some really nice moves. Let me look at POTR and get upset. Actually, pull it back. I can't get too upset, so pull it back there. But yeah, let's see. 186 coming up here on Amazon. I'm gonna be a little bit patient with my partials because I hope this can trend like we trended yesterday. We had a nice long trend to the downside and to the upside again. So hopefully we can get some decent moves here. Let's see. So you can get to 186. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate that, man. We love that. We want to make it fun, entertaining. Not too stiff and boring, but we want to make it fun and hopefully teach at the same time, right? So that's awesome. Thanks for the comment. I appreciate it. Oh, look who's back. Mr. Paris is back in chat. That's right. He is back. He is trading Tesla long at the open, couple of partials. Actually, I'll show you. Why would I tell you? Just show you. Here's our good buddy Paris. So that's his trade for today. He'll be on a little bit later here, taking you guys through some of his stuff that he's done, and can't wait to hear how his vacation was. I'm sure it was a lot of fun. So yeah, good to have him back. Let's go over here to Amazon. So Amazon pulling back here a little bit. Let's see if we can get going.
Wow.
With his
Paris
fan,
did
yeah.
his usual magic. He actually traded Nvidia. He got Nvidia
Yeah.
along. Wow, what an entry for him too.
Yes, really, really nice.
Paris is amazing, man. He
Yeah, his style
figured this thing
is,
out.
yeah, yep. He is awesome,
Apple.
awesome.
Apple made a great move higher.
What is Apple up to? We haven't seen Apple in. Apple did not really pull back like many other stocks did. It just kept going here.
No,
That's a very clean
Apple,
5 minute.
as I've been saying, the last couple of weeks, well, maybe now it's more than that, month and a half, Apple has not been trading like the market. Like, it's generally been going the same direction, but it hasn't been following the exact same patterns that the rest of the market does. And I'm not sure where I like that, whether I like it or love or hate it, but it's certainly providing some interesting opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. Sarah, Google is on the move. Let's take a look. Our good buddy Google. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice drop and great recovery. Then through VWAP, started moving with everything else heading higher. So that's nice. So that's good there. Question for Peter. Tesla yesterday, 155 a mountain pass, and that's 155. We could check for you.
Tesla. I don't remember seeing one yesterday. Let's check it out here.
155.
Talking yesterday afternoon. Right? Oh no. When do you want? Yesterday afternoon. 155. Oh, yeah, I remember that now. The short answer is no, not by my strategy. So unfortunately, it hit a lower low of day on the retest just at around noon, and then it had pulled up too far and didn't actually retest all the way back down on Tesla. If you're talking about a long on Tesla yesterday, no, didn't qualify for me, didn't count. So
I totally understand risk to reward, but how many percentages does how much percent does a pro scalper make a day? I don't know, man. It's
that's a
that's
tough
a hard
question,
question. Yeah, because we don't know.
right? So let's use Andrew as an example, right? So and here's why your question is tough, and we'll use Andrew as a real life example. So Andrew will make anywhere between $20,000 and $100,000 in a day when he trades.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But he's trading an $8 to $9 million account. So, but he's not always using all of his buying power. So let's, for argument's sake, if he's making $100,000 a day off of a $9 million account, he's making like 1%, roughly, a little over
Right.
1%. But he could make
Right.
$100,000 off of a $4 million account and be making 2%. So did he just double his returns? Well, he's making the exact same money, but
Yeah.
but he doesn't need all the capitalization in his account. So that's why I always find it distracting
That's
when people
actually,
use that type of number.
Peter, you brought up something pretty good. Like I usually just take the total number. You're right. Although he has 8 million, the win for the percentage for their account. Hold on a second. Okay. So the win percent, I don't know what's happening, but I'm taking a parcel here on Amazon, and we are just, what's going on? We just got this pop. Any news, Peter, at this time? What's the next thing we have?
No.
No, there's nothing here. Okay. All right. So, like a lot of, you're right. A lot of people think about me. I think about the total number of his account and as a percentage of the win, but he might not be using anywhere near that. So you're 100% right. Like I never thought about it. Like, okay, how much buying power? How much is he actually using to make that percentage? So that's two different things, and you really can't quantify it. It's very difficult to do that.
Yeah. So I am a big proponent of you should really be looking at what your um, what your target is in terms of return, like risk versus reward was one thing, but also it's more to me about the absolute number which that you want to target, and then you have to figure out how big of an account do you need to achieve that. So if you say, look, I want to make $1,000 a day, well, it's unrealistic to expect to do that off of a $5,000 account if you're in a place where you can trade with a five
Yeah.
thousand dollar account.
Yeah.
But if you want to make $1,000 a day, you could easily, well, you could do that off of a $30,000 or $40,000 account. You could more easily do it off of $100,000 account, just because you have more, market, you have more capitalization, right? You have more ability to do it without stretching the boundaries and using all of your buying power in a single trade. So I think you should, if you're trying to figure out what's the art of the possible, really it's about
Hmm.
how do I make X amount per trade. And I don't care whether that's $10 or $20 per trade. If you can figure out how to do that consistently, then it's just a matter of scaling. And the scaling is not just increasing your size. That's the tactical and I guess physical thing that you need to do. Really, it becomes a mental game, right?
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
do the same thing when I'm trading $100 risk that I did when I was doing $10 risk? And that's usually where people get messed up, right? It's about
Hmm.
managing
Hmm.
your own psychology to say, look, it's the same trade. Just take the same action. I just happen to be taking 10 times the size. That
Yeah.
sounds easy, but putting that into play, as Carlos and I know, and so many of the people whom we've coached over the years, it's a lot harder than you might think because your brain starts doing weird things, right? For example, you'll hold on to your loss until you hit your loss because that's what your rules say. But then when
Yeah.
it comes to parceling, you're like, oh, I got to take some money off the table. I've got to secure this win.
Hmm.
And then you
Hmm.
start sacrificing your profit opportunity because you get nervous in the trade. Things like that, right? You start making decisions that you wouldn't have made if it was just $10. You're like, let it ride. Oh, look, now I've made $50 right off my $10 risk. That's good. Let me take my money. But if it's like, can you actually wait till $500, right? Like that,
Right.
that's a
Right.
much different equation for a lot of people, or whatever your relative numbers are. So just think about that.
Yep. I don't know what's up with this market. This is it just Amazon
Yeah,
trading like this?
no,
It's
it's very non-directional here. I'm watching things sort of bounce and pull back, and it's not
yeah, but
doesn't look
like
great
this
to me.
latest pop, like Amazon just was weird, right? We popped up right to 186.80. So I took a partial there. So we're doing really good in this trade. But then even now, like the trading seems very aggressive. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going
Aggressive.
on with Amazon. Yeah, it's just I'm not sure how to best explain it, but I've been looking at the price action obviously because I'm in this trade, and it just seems
Yeah.
weird compared to everything else. So increase in volume too over the last couple of minutes. Like if you look at the 1 minute here, we're pretty much dead here trading quietly, and then volume just poured into Amazon on here. So Amazon tweet above. They tweeted. Where is it? That's why I love this
Where? Show me.
community. Where is it? Show me. Overreaction, right? Let's go long all the way on the easy money today on Amazon. I should just trade Amazon from the gates. Easy money is stupid headline of tariffs dropping almost 2%. Like, are you kidding me? The softness of people, man, is unbelievable. Like, if you take a couple of people now, you throw them back in the barbaric days, they won't survive 2 days. They just won't survive 2 days. Like it's just like before Jesus, like BC, they ain't surviving. There's no way.
My I've got a good friend from high school that he likes to do medieval fighting. Like he makes his own armor. He's got a sword collection. He goes out and
Nice.
he does like sword fighting. And
I
so
seen
I've gone
that.
out a
Yeah.
couple. I've gone out a couple of times with them, and it takes a lot of skill. But anyways, I realized through that process that if I had to survive by fighting somebody with a sword, I'd be dead. I'd just be dead. Like I
You're
am not
tall
good at it.
too. You're tall, so you're like an
Yeah,
easy target for the
but
legs, man. Yeah,
I
you'll be in
get
trouble.
I guess, but I just learned like he just started hacking on me because you go out and you get all the padding, especially when you're young and stuff, and
Yeah,
use a
yeah,
padded sword. And I'm telling you, man, when you start getting whacked, especially if you're wearing like a helm, like a metal helmet, and somebody hits you in the head, even with I can't imagine what it's like with a steel sword, but even with just a practice sword, like my head was ringing for hours after that. I'm like, this sucks. I, thank God this is not something I have to do to
yeah,
survive.
yeah. I'm telling you, man. It's rough.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's why
All right.
I'm glad
Well,
we
we're
have some
getting a pull back here.
strong people here in our community. You guys are not on that list. Um, all right. So what happened? So someone said here, Juan says this market manipulation came from the insiders taking this news as opportunity to fulfill their stocks and sell them later. Listen. There's so much corruption. There was this guy, this podcast I listen to a lot, and he used to work for the government on both sides, for both Republican and Democrats. And he's like, the stuff you see, I guess he was like an not associated, but I guess he was just in the White House, or he was just a politician or whatever. And
Right.
he's like, the corruption is on both sides. Like he speaks to people that are heavy on one side, others that are heavy on the other, and they think the other one's corrupt and this one is not. And he's like, no, they're both are. You just don't see it, but the corruption that goes on is just unreal, from both sides. So it's crazy, man. So this manipulation, yeah, it won't shock me if there's something going on here. Um, but yeah. All right, so 3 parcels on Amazon right now. Let's see what's left here, if we're gonna go any higher. But I'm really happy with this trade. Stop loss at break even. We won't give anything back, but we taking off a couple of big chunks here already. Oh, your shield is a weapon also. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
yes, but you have to know how to use it. That was what I learned. My skills were lacking.
Mm. Wow, POTR, Paris took a beautiful short right above the view, I believe, on POTR, and POTR is back to the low of the day.
Yeah, Paris
Oh
is
man, yeah,
trading
look at
over the
that.
here on it, like you mentioned.
Yes. So POTR. All right, Amazon trying to hold here. All right, so not bad. I think opening ranges, guys, have been really, really tough today and yesterday. So both days in the morning, been having a rough time, but later in the day, things are getting much better. So good morning. It's not Wednesday. Good morning, laptop. Or are you saying good morning and then requesting a laptop? Are you preempting for tomorrow? Is that what you're doing? I don't think that counts,
Yeah, are
but
we doing it tomorrow? I mean, I feel like
Andrew's in
Andrew's on vacation.
China, and
He's in China.
I'm not sure if he's gonna make it tomorrow or not. So, um, what's the time in China now? Is it like
I
early,
don't
right?
know.
Like
I'm not
early
sure
morning?
exactly where in China he is. So
Yeah.
we got a number of different time zones, but
All right, so my stop now is at break even on Amazon. Won't like to see this go below. What's my entry down here? But I won't like to see it go below this level, regardless of my entry. Like this, whatever this is, I think this is a high and low of the day. I don't want to. I want it to hold this here if it can. So that'd be nice. Carlos, how old? I am 40, man. I'm 40 years old. So that is my age. Peter, what are you? 45, 42? You're
are
retired.
you
You're 50.
joking? Or?
50? You're 50? No, how
No,
old are you? Really?
54.
54.
54.
Okay, that was close. China can access YouTube normally. Um. Oh. Uh, yeah, but he won't be going through YouTube. He'll be going through a different connection. Then I'll send him to YouTube. So we'll see. Listen, he deserves some time off. He's been on for a while every morning, waking up even earlier now. So uh, let's see what happens. How many shares do you trade at a time? Depends between 500, 1,000, sometimes 2,000 if the stock doesn't move a whole lot. So, but it depends on the price. It depends on the movement. Like you're not gonna take 2,000 shares on Amazon, right? At least not me. Andrew will, but I won't. So it depends on the stock. The most important is how much you're risking. That's really the question. That's important. So, all right. So right here, we're right at that level where I don't want it to go under. So we're just trying to hold it. If it goes under this, we'll get out because our break even will be just right below that. And someone asked me earlier, I'm not sure if you saw my chart. Someone asked me earlier, what would be our stop on this trade? So usually never at VWAP. I mean, I use VWAP a lot, but I usually put it slightly below. So below VWAP, and then I do look to see if there's any technical level that makes sense. So for me, the stop will be right here, around 184.40, 184.50, right? We don't want to go in below that. Because VUP, what happens is you come back and test VUP a lot. So if you always use VUP exactly, you can get stopped out a ton on it. So Brian in Paris should be joining you guys in a second here. We'll see what Paris did today.
I did. I have to admit, I've taken my first trade. I'm trying to maybe recreate yesterday. I tried to go short here in Nvidia as we drop below VWAP, and we're holding just below VWAP in previous day close.
I like that short. That's I like that setup. I like that setup.
We'll see.
Amazon is gonna go. We're gonna get out of Amazon. We had a great trade. Man, every time it hits this level, it shoots right back up. But look at that. Every single time. We're gonna get out of it. Here it is. Out of break even, guys. For the rest, but a really nice trade, and all because of this. I don't know what happened here. But this thing shot us up to 186 was our partial, and then it gave us 80 cents extra. So yeah, that is really, really nice. So good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. Kevin, no trades today. It was a rough day, man. Like if I would to just be a little more patient at the market open, this could have been a really nice green day just with this trade alone, but we had two losses at the start with a POTR, and what's the other one? What's the other? The other one was what else we traded? Amazon was Nvidia. Nvidia short, yeah. So Nvidia short. Small losses though. I like PLTR, I thought I lost almost $1 on this thing, but not really. It's only 40, like 50 cents. I thought it was a lot worse. But so small losses. And Nvidia didn't move a whole lot either, so not bad. Amazon for the win today.
It's Nvidia. I don't like how long it's hanging around here. This is not good. I wanted more of an immediate drop.
Yeah. As long as it stays here below the VWAP. What's your entry? 108.60-ish?
Yeah.
Okay.
108.57.
Yeah, yeah. If we can get a new low here, that would be great, man. Start setting the trend. Keep that 5 minute. The 5 minute looks awesome. Look at that 5 minute. That looks beautiful. If we can keep going lower here. Thoughts on the SPY? Let's take a look. I mean, it's, looking at the 5 here, I don't know. It seems to just be somewhat flat. Like this is the market open right here. So we shot up and just coming right back to it. It's just this indecision. Look at yesterday, how much we drop and recover. So I think the overall market is just waiting and seeing what's next, right? We got some news that came out today that didn't really move the market a whole lot. So I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything big on it, to be honest, at the moment. Andrew will give away a MacBook made in China. Yeah.
We're joking about that.
That makes sense. The tariff shouldn't be high on that, right? If it's made in China, buys it in China. Look at Amazon going higher.
Yeah, see, the market's turned around now, so it's not a good looking trade anymore like it was when I entered.
Yep. All right, here, Brian. Let me get the sound over to the room, and we'll get Brian and Paris on here today. Okay. All right, awesome. Let's get wait, I gotta wait for Paris too. 1 second.
You got me?
Yep, I got you. Hey, Paris, jump over to the link I'm gonna send you. It's the same link that you always use. All right, perfect. So Paris is gonna jump on over, and we'll get you guys here on YouTube.
Peter, it's not a good-looking trade, but you're a good-looking guy.
Oh, well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
And Paris, make sure you turn off your mic in chat if you can still hear me, so we don't get the echo effect. All right, guys. So 2 red,
PLTR
1 green.
Back.
Yeah, PLTR is aggressive. Let's get our video.
Yeah,
in
that
chat.
was. Markets are kind of bouncing back a little bit here after we. Yeah, pretty steep sell-off right at S3 or R3 on the SPY.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're right up into an area where there's a lot of resistance after we had that sort of rebound on the indexes. So we're into an area now where there's going to be some challenge getting past this sort of 551 level on the SPY. See if we can.
Did we lose you?
Brian?
Or did I kick him out? Sorry.
You did kick him out.
Weird echo effect now.
Yeah, I think it should be fixed now, but I think I mistakenly kicked him out. I used the remix link, so.
Oh no, you can't use that one. You got to use the Zoom link.
Okay, that's what I was confused. I'll get back to the Zoom link.
Okay, you got it, man. All right, we'll get Amazon's bouncing back. I'm not gonna get in it again, but that's what I wanted to survive that pullback, because I think this thing is gonna be even further up. It's probably gonna go green after this news. All right, looks like I got. Why don't I wear t-shirts? Why would I wear a t-shirt when I could wear this beautiful purple shirt? You don't like the purple shirt? You don't like to wear the cufflinks? Like, what's going on? I'm being asked why I don't wear a t-shirt. You don't like the collar shirts, man? I like my collar shirts. Right, purple is nice, right? So it's funny. Jerome Powell was saying that he only wears purple ties now because he can't wear anything blue. He can't wear anything red. when he does his
Right.
speeches. So he only wears purple. I'm like, wow, that's
Yeah, yeah.
insane.
Well, in his case, it's a political. Like he's trying to not make a
Yeah,
political statement, right? So
right, right. It's just wow. All right, I do see Paris back on. Um, so listen, I worked 9 to 5 for how many years? 12 years wearing these shirts. My closet is full of this stuff that I just don't wear anymore. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just start wearing them. So one day I said, let's start wearing them, and I'm like, oh, this actually feels pretty good. So I just started wearing them. That's how I started. But I like my t-shirts. I like my t-shirts, hoodies, and all that good stuff. And Peter, I can only imagine what your closet looks like.
yeah, I've
You
got.
probably got shirts for days. I mean,
I do, but I decided I don't want to wear them if I don't have to. So
yeah, yeah. No, it each his
sometimes
own,
it's
man.
nice if you when you go and do a live presentation. If you're in a public setting, then fine. But at home, yeah, I
Yeah,
decided no.
no, I get it, man. I get it.
Had some trouble
Colors.
with VMix, but I'm back now.
Yeah,
All
no, you're
right.
back now. And I think I also have Paris back as well, and he's connected here.
Can you hear
Hey,
me?
Paris. Yep, I can hear you. And if you share your screen,
Perfect.
we'll see it as well.
Oh,
Um, I look like Tony Montana with the shirt description. Uh, Friends over on YouTube, thank you guys. We're gonna hop off. We'll leave you with Paris and Brian. Hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. Really appreciate it. We're at 262. We'd love to get a 350 if we can do that. 350, 400, that would be awesome. But thank you guys. We'll leave you here with these
yeah,
two fine gentlemen.
yeah. Give us a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. So thank you,
Have
Carlos
a
and
good one,
Peter.
guys. Thanks.
Yeah, pretty decent day overall. I caught that elevator ride down on Tesla right at the 5 minutes into the open, all the way down to this 280 area. I had some regrets about not flipping my position because I was short all the way down there, taking partials, and then really should have flipped my position off S3 and gone long on it. But unfortunately, that easy to look at that in retrospect. But wow, SPY and Qs have really come back here. Man, this market is crazy. Sell off, come back up.
Yeah, good for scalping.
Yeah, it's just
What's
I was
up,
kind of
YouTube? How is everyone
found
doing?
Q's kind of a bit of a random bounce. I guess that was sort of a low from 10 o'clock where we bounced from, and I guess that's sort of an area in the pre-market where we found a bottom before.
Now everything is strong. The
Yeah,
SPY
everything's
is,
come ripping back. The only thing that's red now, the only index red is IWM. Yeah, PLTR came back. Now PLTR has an order at a big order at 115. Probably gonna make it through there. There's an order at 115.50.
yeah, I got all out on PLTR at break even, but now I'm thinking
Yeah,
of trying to get long Tesla because Tesla has a chance to squeeze to the upside, but if it gives me a good entry,
the
I'll
only
get
thing
in.
about the only thing about Tesla. is it's right at the view app right now, which is where I'd expect, at the very least, I'd expect a rejection or pullback.
Yeah,
So it's definitely not an entry I would take right here. I'd maybe see if it, see how much it pulls back, or if it really does decide to rip above VWAP, then you might consider a long. PLTR is back at yesterday's high now.
yeah. Tesla is
Amazon's at high of day.
actually Nvidia is setting up better. Nvidia is has popped up. Um,
SPY is looking like it's trying to go higher.
yeah, I think SPY what else like sells off 3 minutes and really bad, and then buys
I know.
immediately.
And then it comes back up. 552.50 on the SPY. That's high of day.
Yeah,
And
I
I
had a
see
quick.
Tesla's kind of struggling here at the VWAP. Nice red duck. Yeah. So now if you can do that live, you'll be golden. Good morning, Anthony. How's everybody doing out in YouTube land there? All right. Well, now we're getting yeah, we had this nice run up and now things are kind of settling out, slowing down. So you got to be aware of your levels, on your charts. And VWAP is usually a pretty important level to watch because you can see here what happened with Tesla. We did get a rejection right at the VWAP. So you wouldn't have wanted to buy it right, as we were closing in on the VWAP.
Yeah, and that was a very good call. It's usually from the VWAP it gets rejected, and I was
Yeah.
looking for Tesla to pull back, but it doesn't seem like it's a pullback. It seems like it wants to sell off again. But if it starts buying up again, I think I might get in.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, hmm, this is kind of an area where I would expect to see the bounce if it's gonna hold here. Um,
yeah,
and then re-challenge the VWAP. This is about a 50% coming into about a 50% retracement.
but I don't see any
See that?
buyers coming in, to be honest. I think I see more selling.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, see that?
this would be a tricky trade because you just don't know if this pullback is literally just some sellers from the at the VWAP and then some weak hands and the buyers are really in control. They're just picking up shares here, or if it actually is buyers or sellers have taken control again. So this is a bit of
True.
a tricky area to take along.
Yeah, I agree.
But you could now that we've put in a low here, you could put use that low as your stop, which is what is that? Sort of 281.50.
Yeah, I think it's not giving me Yeah, now it bounced.
Yeah, SPY and Q's pulled back to some moving averages, and now they're going back up again. So it looks like that pullback was where people were buying.
I'm taking a shot on Tesla, to be honest. I'm taking a shot on Tesla.
Okay.
I'm taking a shot on Tesla. Oh, boom. Love you. I love
Nice.
you, man. What an
Hmm.
I love you. And
There you
this
go.
is, yeah, let's see if it has that uh s- has that continuation. Let's see if it drops and continues lower.
I'm not loving the SPY and Qs for sure. It seems like there's still some buyers there.
Yeah, I see buyers are stepping up too, so I might get stopped out break even now. If it doesn't very quickly sells off, I'll stop out at break even. Yeah, I'm stopping out break even. Yeah, it was very
Yeah, I
quickly
think
bought
the
back up, so
SPY does look like it's trying to squeeze here.
yeah, I think now it's gonna look for buyers to hold and then squeeze to the upside. Now I'm thinking of going long. Now this was a proof that the the buyers are stronger. So let's see if it sells off here or buys here. Again, the sellers are taking over.
That SPY moved. We tried to push higher and pulled back. Again, we're in an area where there's some resistance. So yeah, a lot of, let's say, not a lot of buyers stepping up into this area here.
Yeah, this is a very no trade zone area, to be honest. This is
Yeah,
this is a lot of times the buyers are taking over, then the sellers are taking over. It's a no trade zone.
yeah.
Uh,
If you look at Tesla's for a short-term 2-minute chart, it's really stuck in a range. I mean, we're not moving one way or another.
uh,
So again, I'd be watching that range and just wait for it to wait for either the buyers to take control or the sellers. The buyers, if the buyers are going to take control, I'd be looking for a break of the VWAP. For the sellers to take control, I'd look for a break of 281.50.
yeah, the way it's trading like it wants to drop. So let's see if I can get another shot. Uh, the sellers are very aggressive. The buyers are not even there. Uh,
No, definitely not.
yeah, I want to get in. Let's see if it gives me a chance to get in. Come on, give me a pullback.
It looks a little weak here. I'd say
And
it looks like we're making some lower highs. as we're moving along here.
I think 281.50, every single time it comes there, there's a buyer who's trying to buy back up.
Yeah,
But if that breaks, I think
yeah,
that low of the day is coming. And I like to get in before the break so that I get a better entry.
had a better move. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, now it's gonna drop. Yeah, it dropped now. Yeah, I couldn't get in
yeah,
on that.
yeah. Q's just dropped. SPY just dropped. There's that buyer at 281.50.
Yeah,
Comes
that buyer
came
is still
back.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Q's and the SPY pulled, both dropped, but buyers came back again. Seems to be, there has to be some algo trading now. I'm just not that keen to trade anything at this point.
Yeah, me neither. I think it's a short. Everything looks like the PLTR, the Nvidia, the Tesla, they all look like a short. But if the SPY is able to hold it, then none
Yeah,
of these, but very good chance they're gonna break the low of the day, I think.
Nvidia looks a little teetery too. It looks like it might drop. It's kind of losing the VWAP here,
Yeah, they're holding up
but
nicely.
this market, you just never know because it's just now we're just bouncing again here on the SPY. And Nvidia looks it's testing this 108.40, which is kind of a prior low from just before 10:30. It's been a lot
Yeah,
of sellers on Nvidia today. CVD, the accumulated volume, is mostly been hitting the downside, but it has been holding up. So someone's in there absorbing the sells.
that 281.50 is still buying
Yeah.
on Tesla.
Maybe now we move here.
Yeah, but the problem is the SPY is actually popping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, again stepping up. I feel like
Yeah.
I
It
want to
looks
go
like the
long on
SPY is going
Tesla.
to try to break out here.
Yeah, yeah, Tesla is gonna be long now. Yeah, I'm not touching it to be honest. The SPY is strong. and things were looking very bearish, and all of a sudden things are looking long. So I don't know, touch it. Because you don't know that this pop is gonna be able to hold or not. Because usually when the trend is on the downside, these pops are usually the areas to short, not to go long. So it's just the nature of the market right now that the market is actually very strong, and this could lead to a hold. Uh, so now it's trying to pop. Yeah. So Nvidia, these things are bouncing. Tesla is bouncing.
Wow. I just caught a nice trade on SPX, and it's a couple of SPX options on that pop. That was what I was waiting for, that breakout. And it was actually setting up pretty nicely on the SPY. If you look at the 1 minute or 2 minute chart, we were getting a nice little pennant there. There we go. Look at that. Nice.
Hussein Ahmed, my vacation was really good. Went to Switzerland and uh, Ireland, Dublin and Zurich. So it was very good. Much needed one. Looks like so
Yeah, that was
Nvidia
a
is
nice,
now coming back up.
really nice breakout on SPY, on
Yeah, I
SPX.
think the SPY, everything is
We're
now
still gonna,
gonna move with
yeah,
SPY.
I think we're gonna go to yesterday's high, which was just right around 553.40 ish.
What is PayPal doing? PayPal is just eventually getting up. PLTR is strong.
So I traded the 5540 SPX call. Got that nice move from $16 up to 1950. Again, really like the way that's set up. That was just a really nice breakout of a of a pennant formation, kind of a series of higher lows banging up against an area of resistance. So we might even go higher here now. I still think maybe 553 on SPY is possible, but we're right at yesterday or the high of day, which was just after 10 o'clock. So kind of expect some resistance here. Anyway, I'm out of that trade. I don't like to stay in those SPX options very long. Usually two or two or three, sometimes four. I should have taken more on this one. I just took two because they can really bite you in the ass if you're on the wrong side of the trade. I know some people take bigger.
Oh, big wrestler, really?
So Tesla,
I was
yeah.
visiting
So
my
Tesla, yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Tesla once again kind of rejected at the close to the VWAP. So really kind of struggling here.
Yeah, and now it's looking weaker again. But SPY is looking strong, man. I don't know what is moving SPY. It is There is definitely a
Yeah,
relative weakness on Tesla, but SPY it actually broke the high of the day today, and Tesla
yeah,
hasn't. Is not even above VWAP.
yeah. Qs are at the high of day two. Now, again, Qs are really close to yesterday's high, so I would expect some filling maybe back and forth if we're going to break out first, but we'd probably want to consolidate in this range a bit if we are going to get a breakout. Same with SPY. SPY's getting pretty close to yesterday's high. So
Yeah, what is moving SPY?
okay, so
I'm curious.
these 5,540 calls are now $21, $22.
The healthcare is up by a lot. So healthcare has this thing. Apple, Microsoft is moving SPY. I think it's majorly.
Yeah, VKTX, that's a stock we've traded in the past. That's keeps popping up on the turbo breakout. CCL is breaking down. It's interesting. Yeah, Pfizer's on the breakout high, breakout daily of high. Yeah, it seems like healthcare's doing fairly well. Technology, not so bad. Apple's up a bit. Microsoft's up a bit. IBM.
I'm one more
All
time.
right, guys, it's 8 o'clock.
I'm short.
I'm going to. All right, what do you? Oh, you short Tesla?
Yeah, I'm short Tesla. I just want to see if it drops the 281.50 that it's trying to hold. Let's see.
Yeah, you see, we did kind of an assault on yesterday's high on both the Qs and the SPY, and then we pulled back.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to grab some breakfast, guys. Hope you had a good morning. We had some nice moves initially, and had some nice moves throughout the day here. So, um, yeah, just continues to be a good market to trade. So, hey, if you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up. I always appreciate that. And we'll see you tomorrow. See
Perfect.
you,
Thank you,
Paris.
Brian.
Good to see you.
And I'm gonna
Glad you're
continue
back.
here because I'll be available until 12. But have a great rest of the day, Brian.
All right. Great. Thank you. Good to have you back. Glad you had a
Oh,
good
thank
time.
you. Thank you. Yeah, I got out of Tesla, guys. I was looking for a momentum to the downside. I did not like it, and I got out. I think it's trying to hold this. So the more I'm gonna stay here, I'm thinking of going long than short now, unless it breaks the 281.50. I think they're trying to hold up nice. And I should not be over trading, to be honest, on the day that I'm back. I am pretty much good on the day. I had a really good run on Nvidia at the open. Really nice on the from the multiple ads. Same with Tesla at the open. Two trades at the open. First from 285, and then second one, this thing. Now it's just selling off, that idiot. It's that momentum did not lift at that point of time, and then now it's selling off now. So yeah, yeah, that was a miss. Now the SPY's selling pressure is coming in. 281.50 still did not drop. So 281.50 is still holding. Nice. Yeah, Pig Wrestler, I think that's a good understanding of being self-aware that if you're a trend trader, not a good area because these are good for scalping to get in and get out. And and that understanding is very much necessary. So I think Tesla has bounced up really nice. I think it looks more like a long now. Really. Now it was a short the pop scenario. Now it's gonna drop to 81.50. Yeah, the selling volume came in. Yeah, I think it's a good area to short, to be honest. I don't want to mess around with my day, but the way the selling pressure came, this is usually a chop zone. I'm taking a long on Tesla, stop loss below 281.50. And let's see if this is my last trade. If this I get stopped out, I'm not going to trade anything further because I'm already up on the day. I don't want to mess around with my day overall. So let's see if it goes to VWAP. That has been trading in that range, 281.50 and 283. It has to break the 283. Now the selling pressure came again. Let's see if it breaks the 283 to the upside. So let's see if it breaks 283. It is the buyers are trying to step in. Very nice. Selling some at 283. Ah, oh man, I did not sell anything. A different montage was active. Let's see. Let's see. Break again and I'll cover some. Okay, selling some 283. So good. The reason, like my kind of trading style, I like to capture before the breakout happens so that it gives me a good risk reward overall. Like if I am wrong, I'll be very quick in getting out, but if I'm right, I'll have a very high risk reward. And that's why I like to enter before the breakout, just using the using my tape reading skills. Uh, and yeah, so if I'm able to understand which area the buying or the selling imbalances, I can get in early, and even actually, if at the breakout, I can even add more. And the disadvantage or the con of being trying to get in is that you can get chopped around very quickly. So like you see this, like 283 sold, and then it can chop around all day between 281.50 and 283. You don't know if it's gonna break out 283 at that point of time, but and that's the con of that. Like in this case, it did pop to 283, but let's see if it's the volume is there. If the buyers are aggressive, then they would try to break the 283, but has a disadvantage of holding in that chop. But I usually, when the more and more it stays around this area, I would not like it and I'll get out. Either I'll get stopped out, uh, or I will just not like the price action. I'll get out at break even. Like currently I'm at break even. But it seems like now the sellers are trying to take over again, but the buyers have to step in. Yeah, I might even get out even earlier than this, but let's see. Yeah, I'm getting out, guys. Oh, I did not get out, but I'm getting out soon. Okay, out. All out, guys, on this. So yeah, closing out on my day. I think now it's gonna sell off the 281.50. But yeah, 283, like it's a very clear indication of how 283 is selling and 281.50 is buying. Like every single time I try to short, let me bring up the Epic pen. Now this 281.50 is gonna sell off. This, oh, my camera has died. Can you see me? So one, my partials are usually 5%. So I don't partial a lot. Like I partial in terms of numbers, yes, but my percentage wise, I'm very this thing. But my first partial is always, 1:1 or 1:2 R. So if you look at this thing, because my stop losses are very, I don't give a lot of room for me to uh, move, or rather, I don't give a, I'm confident on my entries because of the tape reading skills. So even look at these things, right? Like where is my Epic pen? Yeah, right here. So if you look at it, I went short at this point, 282.50, came back down, uh, what do you call, to $1, my risk was 50 cents. So if you look at the risk reward, my uh, first exit was 1:2 R. And then if it starts scaling down, then I'm looking at 1:3, 1:5, 1:10, something like that, because my stop losses are tight because of my tape. Like same thing, I got stopped out, but my risk was only 50 cents. I'm not giving a lot of room because I'm more confident on my momentum and tape reading skills. Like same with this, I'm not giving a lot of room My entry was at 282.30, and my I was giving 70 or 80 cents on that. But I even got out earlier because the momentum was against me, and I was confident that this is going to go against me. So I don't have to wait for my stop loss to hit. And I got out at 50 cents. So that $1 move, that it sounds like it was a quick partial, but that was a 1:2 R. And then if it goes in your favor, then it becomes a lot like this thing, a lot heavier. And same, like it's about how your trading style is. Because one of those, like for me, one trade, like a one good trade can actually make all my profits back. And if I'm down on a day, and if it's a single trade, like for example, let me bring up the uh my Tesla, or what do you call other trade, Nvidia. So let's look at Nvidia, right? So my Nvidia trade, I said no to this. Okay. So for example, my Nvidia trade, I am taking a long right here at this point. I'm only giving a little bit of room for it to move in my favor, which is 20 cents, right? But my first exit was close to, you know, 108.70, which was $1, sorry, 2.5 or 1:3 R. That's my first exit. And then when I scale out and then add back in, that's where you are trying to maximize on your positions, and you're going to keep continuing overall, and then find this was my final exit because I did not see a buying strength coming in, and I even get out when I don't like the price action. So, and that's the way I trade. Like my risk is 20 cents, but my first exit usually, most of the time, it would be either 1:1 or it could be 1:2 R. Usually it's more than 1:2 R, but sometimes if I don't see an immediate sell pressure, then I even take the 1:1 R. But it is never ever. My first exit will never be below 1:1 R, and that's the way I trade. Like same with Tesla today. Uh, if you look at this, in this case, I went long at 285, and my stop loss was below 285. So I even went long at 285, I think 40 or something, 285, 40 or something. But my first exit was 286. So I was risking, 50 or for 45, 50 cents to capture $1 out of it. And then I started scaling out as and when it started working in my favor. Same in with my next trade. Like if you look at this, my stop loss was like this was my entry at 283, and my stop loss was 281.50, and my first exit was 283, which is $1.5. That is 1:3 3 R overall. So, and that's how I trade. It's all about risk and reward, right? It could My first exit should always be preferably be 1:2 R, which is also 5%. It's not like I'm taking away 50%. But if it starts working in my favor and I keep adding to the position, it increases by many folds. But that was a very good question, Juan. I think Tesla has a chance to sell off now. I'm taking a shot on Tesla. I'm taking a shot. I don't know why am I taking it, but I'm taking a shot on Tesla. I'm looking for the low of the day, so we'll see if it bounces stop loss above, if it holds above 281.50, that's when I'll get stopped out. But I think a very good chance it drops to the low of the day. So 281 is trying to hold, but let's see if it drops 280. Somebody bought below 281. Yeah, the buyer is getting aggressive. Now it's selling off. Let's see if it breaks the 280, 80. There's a buyer at below 281, but we'll see if it is able to hold it or not. Two eighty is holding again. Let's see if it dominates here. If the seller dominates here and 280 breaks to the downside. Ideally, there should be a seller who should start dominating here. 280 should drop. 280 should drop. Yes, it dropped. Let's see. Very good. Covering some. So to be honest, in Voti Hoy, I think very good question to be honest, because the thing is, I should be closing my desktop and should not be trading because I'm usually done trading. And the thing is, the more you're gonna start watching your chart and the more you think, the more opportunities you're gonna find. And that's not a good thing, and that reason, like saw a seller and I saw like weakness, but I shouldn't be trading. Because just because I'm talking to you guys and everything, it's like I should still be not trading because I'm done on the day. So that's usually a weakness from my side because I usually tend to, if I find some good opportunity, I try to, not respect the discipline of not trading at all. And that's why it's I usually, when I'm done, I usually close my desktop and I just don't trade anymore. I usually don't get back ever. I just go walk away. But because if I see something, then I would trade it because I'll find opportunities to it. But yeah, but just because I'm with you guys, and that's why I said I don't know, because I saw the weakness and I saw my setup, and I saw things which were setting up, and I think it's gonna go to the low of the day. I think that's what my setup is. But even though I'm breaking my law of rule of discipline in terms of trading, but I usually look for my setup. I usually look for uh, to be able to, by the end of the day, I'm able to journal or maybe able to question myself that why did I take that trade? And if it has to be my setup, then I would take it. So now 280 is coming. I'm taking some off right here. 280.50. Oh, thank you, Tiger. Hey Taylor, I usually come to in the BBT chat room if Andrew sometimes is not there and Thor is not there. But just because like I have to be very, very involved at the open because the tape is really fast and have to be very specific, I prefer to trade uh, like without being shared or on the screen because what they're expecting is to have that real time understanding or real time uh, analysis of what is happening and what I'm seeing. But it's usually much faster than I'll be able to explain. And that's why I prefer to trade like in the first half an hour specifically. First and half an hour is very critical for me. And I'm getting out, guys. I don't like it. I'm getting all out, break even. All out break even. Yeah, you see that, guys? Like sometimes if I see something on the downside, if it doesn't have a momentum, I don't hold it. Like I don't have to prove anybody that it was a quick trade or it was this thing. If I don't see it, I don't see it. Yeah, Hussein Ahmed. And I think that absolutely can lead to 2 to 3 losses in a row, and I'm okay with it because I know for a fact that one trade that works out for me and with I'll hit a home run on that, and that 2 or 3 losses would be nothing for me in that front of me because that would lead to me giving me 1:6, 7, 10 hours sometimes, that those are when they work like a charm. And it's all about when you if I'm able to manage your risk efficiently, you'll be profitable. For me it's the number of shares. Gwila, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Yeah, and I think that's a good question that should I trade with number of shares or should I trade with the because every stock's price is different. For me, it is I know how much of a risk I want to take. For me, it's a tier one, tier two, tier three size, and I have different levels of number of shares. So 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, and 3,000. And then if I, depending on the size I'm like risk I want to take, let us say I want to take $1,000 risk, I would look at a stock which I'm trading. And if I am trading Tesla, I know 1,000 shares is and I'm risking 50 cents or a dollar is gonna give me uh what do you call uh the what do you call 1,000 share risk. Like if I go 1,000 shares and if I'm risking $1, I will have $1,000 risk. If I am going with 50 cents, I can go 2,000 shares. So I have those tiers that in case I want to go for those shares. But if it's like if my stop loss, if my risk is 70 cents and I want to risk what do you call like a $500, I'm okay to click $1,000, 1,000 share uh, of Tesla. Like a from a $500 risk, risking like plus minus 200, 250, it's I don't look at that much. Because my approach of going is flexible in terms of what do you call getting in and getting out. So plus minus 200, 250 area, I'm flexible on that. I don't have to be exact every single time. So if I'm risking thousands, I'm okay to lose 1,250 or 1,300 or getting out at $700 dollar risk. I'm okay with it. And but if I want to risk more, like if it goes 2,000, then if I'm losing 2,500, I'm okay with it because I have my hotkey set up that way. I cannot go exact every single time. So for me, it's that approx number that matters on the risk. So Michael Bilal, if you have $500 a day, that you for US you have if you need if you can get a minimum PDT, follow the PDT rule. This is like 25K and have like 3 grand or 5 grand on top of that. I think 30K is a good start making $500 a day. And to be honest, you won't be using the entire 30K because you get a leverage of 120K and you're trading stocks like Amazon, Nvidia, you can very easily make $500 a day. I think Tesla is a short again. Let's see. Yeah, Mr. Manu, I think what you can do is 4 hour. Let me bring up the. Oh no. No, 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 no. I don't want to do that. Not this one too. I think there is a way. But let's see what I know. I have a 30-minute chart. I think I don't use a 4-hour time frame, but I think there is a way to do it. I'm pretty sure of that. Uh, 4-hour low and high. So what I do is there is a config area. No, no, no. Study config. When I go and here and low, high, last low bar or high bar, there is a way to do it. It doesn't say at this point low open or something, but yeah, I'm not really sure. But check out, I think there is a way I've seen somewhere. Okay, Tesla is dropping. Yeah, I was thinking of going short Tesla, but I didn't wanna. Yeah, I didn't want to set a wrong example in front of you guys, like because usually, and everybody struggles through different things, right? One of the things that you have to, and even when Andrew trades, right, he talks about handcuffs, right? Because when you see things, uh, rules, you create your own rules of not trading when you're done for the day. But when you see things, you tend to trade and break those rules uh, because you see some of your setup and it eventually leads to over trading. If it's a negative trade, then you start, and that's those basically become a trigger of over trading because then you start getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out, and trying to make back that money, and then you dig a deeper hole for yourself. That's usually a start. And having that acknowledgement is really necessary. Like I traded in front of you guys, which I said that I shouldn't be trading, but I did that, and that awareness is like okay, now I'm getting stopped out, now I don't want to get back again and getting into that mode of trading. So that's awareness is really important because nobody is sitting behind my shoulder to tap me and tell me that okay, you got to stop trading. It's your discipline and your rule. You might have a soft rule that is broken, like I broke the rule of not trading when I was saying that I was done on the day, but did that, face the consequences, and now I gotta stop. And uh, that's sometimes it's difficult to understand, but and that's what keeps your trading consistent. That awareness is really important, guys. So Swati, forward percentage of your total capital. It depends on a trade to trade. Uh, if like it's very independent, right? It always like a $500 risk on a stock like Tesla is going to allocate a lot of capital versus a $500 trade on $500 risk on a stock like you know and what are the like PayPal is gonna move if the volatility is the same, right? So it's not always the percentage allocation, it's about the risk that you are willing to take per trade. Because a 50 cents risk on a Tesla is gonna allocate more capital versus a 50 cents risk on a PayPal, which is gonna allocate a less capital. So it's variant depending on the stock you're trading. Yeah, thank you, Maima. Okay, now things are bouncing again. SPY wants to be strong. This is such a chop, guys. Like usually I was talking about this that it's a no trade zone area. Like this is a no trade zone area. 281.50 was buying, 283 was selling, 280. I use the 281.50 as a floor becomes a ceiling, and I was looking for the low of the day, stopped out, and now the same thing. Now it's gonna chop around all around at this area, unless and until it breaks the range right here. I would like the buyers are stepping in. If I want to go long, I would go long here with a stop loss of 281.50 again. But yeah, like the reason I like to go long earlier before it breaks out, right? So 283 and 281.50, right? So this is the area, this is my technical support, and this is my technical resistance. So if I go long around 281.50 area or 282, this is the area that I'm looking for. I would be able to risk the 281.50 or 50 cents or a dollar versus if I start looking at going long at 283, which is a breakout area. If I think of breakout, then my technical stop loss is close to $2, which I don't like. I don't mind getting, you know, uh, trying to get in and stopped out at break even or getting stopped out. I don't mind doing that. But if I am in a boat where it breaks out nicely, and then it's all about adding to continue to add and then ride that bigger picture move uh, for the high of the day and all of that. So, and it gives you a great like uh, area that you're always on driver's seat. The stock never comes back and tests your break even if it's a valid breakout. So usually I margin do I need? Now I think Tesla is gonna break the 283. Uh, so how much margin do I need? Again, depends on the stock I'm trading. For a Tesla, I trade with a $300,000 account, and for a Tesla to if I'm going, let us say, 1,000 shares, so I need 282,000. But sometimes if I need uh, you know, 2,000 shares of Tesla, then I would need 600,000, close to 600,000. So I'll use maybe I think I usually use uh, three times or two times of my existing account value in my margin. So Tesla and everything is looking to go higher. Nvidia broke the high. Not the high, the resistance. Nvidia broke the resistance, which was 109, and it was holding the 108.50. So now, yeah, Tesla broke it too. So Tesla is back into the break of that resistance. So that 282 long, like the same area that I was trying to go long at this point, and it did not, it came back and rejected, the same area would have been worked out. So, it's all about the volume was there, everything. I was thinking of getting back in at 282, but yeah, sometimes you have to, it works out. Yeah, it doesn't mean your thesis was wrong. The thesis was completely right, but sometimes it just doesn't work out, and that's the nature of the market. You don't know when it's gonna happen. You're just increasing your odds by reading the tape, understanding the important support and resistance areas, understanding the volume, and understanding all of that. And that's why risk management becomes very critical because everything could align in your favor, uh, but it would still not work for you. So So Matthew, my win rate is usually like 50%, 52%. It's not like today, like I got this was one win, second win, third win. This was a break even, so I wouldn't call it a win. This was a stop out. This was a break even. This was a win. So one, two, three, one stop out, two break even. So let us remove the break even. So three wins, one stop out. Let's look at Nvidia. Uh, this was one single trade, which was a win. So four wins, one stop out. I also took spot at the open. I took trade short at spot, and I shorted at 560, and then it dropped, and then I stopped out at break even. So this was a win too. Uh, but so what do we five wins and one? But those small wins are very close to break even. The only good trade that I was able to capture was this on Nvidia right here, and Tesla at the open, and at this one. So three good trades, and rest everything is break even trade, and I was able to just one stop out. So if you want to look at today's win rate was close to like 85%, but usually it's not always like that. Usually most of my trades are either break even or very small profit. You could call it as a win because I tend to get out after taking partials. But uh, the big winners are, so that percentage doesn't do anything to me. Like uh, I need to manage my risk more. One or two trades which are home run trades, they tend to add a lot of major. So 20% of my wins usually add to my profits. And that's what even Avi does that too, right? Like Avi is like the 80-20 rule that he talks about. So yeah, Tesla is a long now. So Tesla now it's like break out from 283, healthy 283. Now what did it become? As you can see, 283 broke the ceiling, now becomes the floor, and now it's actually going up. It's as simple as that. 281, 281.50 did break the floor, but did not have that continuation, claim the floor again, and then now it's broke out. Now you see this like that. If my entry was at 282 at this area, I can easily add a 283 with my stop loss below 282.50. Like that's where you can manage your position much well. You can add a 283, and then when it starts pulling back again, so you're always in the driver's seat if you have your entry well, and you can manage it more efficiently. You stop when your dollar value reached for the day, right? Yes, Matthew. I think I have a percentage of my account, and I have a dollar value uh, in my head that this is my dollar value. But today I did not hit that dollar value, to be honest. I did not hit, but I already hit the time, and I hit my what your number of trades. So, and that's why I'm stopping. It's not always the dollar value. You'll not hit the dollar value always, but you also want to understand the time of the market. My usually majority of my trades are done in the first 1 hour or 1.5 hours before 11. Uh, if I'm trading after 11, that means either I'm down or I'm getting into that over trading mode. But today I wasn't down. I had a good day, and I was very close to getting over trading mode because I'm back after a long vacation, and I want to trade, but I'm stopping myself. I'm choosing not to do it. So yeah. So let's review Nvidia, Sunita Rani. So let's look at this. So Nvidia was uh this thing. Wow. So here I wasn't watching Nvidia at the open. Actually, Nvidia did not even made it to my watch list today. The reason I did not even make it to the watch list is because it was exactly at, like, let me this remove all lines. No, not remove all lines. Remove all, remove all this thing. Remove all trades. So if you look at it, I had this in from my daily. And let me remove this. So this was trending lower. I don't think Nvidia is gonna catch up very in a day like to 120, but I have to find what kind of a pattern has been forming. So this was kind of a wedge pattern being formed. This is an indecision triangle or indecision wedge pattern. So you don't know what's gonna happen. But one thing that and usually the more time it contracts, the chances are it breaks on either side. So either I wanna let it, either if it sells off, it can go below 105, then it can sell off right here, or if it goes above 110 and then holds above 110, then it actually can pop up to 120, right? So that's the nature of this thing. So it did not make it to my watch list because it was literally at in the center. You don't know what's gonna, and it's usually it leads to chop. So I did not even made it to my watch list. So I wasn't watching it. But at the open, when everything was here, I traded Tesla and I found some relative strength. So if you look at Tesla right now here, it completely sold off heavy at the this thing. And I was looking at Nvidia, uh, and even this thing, the SPY was below the VWAP sold off at this point. And what I saw on Nvidia was the relative strength. And if you look at the relative strength, it did pop up, but it did not even make the low of the day. It was holding at these areas, and when it claims the VWAP, that's where I want to see. Like it, I was watching this too. Like I was watching this too, and I was saying, okay, it claimed the VWAP, very good. Now I want to see it hold. It did not hold. I was waiting to get in here as well, but it did not hold. The tape was not confirming to get into a position. But in this case, when it tried to break above the VWAP again and it held this for 3 or 4 minutes, the 108 area, that's what gives me conviction that okay, now it's holding, even though the SPY is dropping, even though the Tesla was dropping, but Nvidia did not drop. And that's when this is the place where I started into a position because when it closed above the VWAP, it held this particular 107.90 or 108 area, and it was also a very good ABCD pattern, which was basically holding, and it did not make a new low of the day. That gives me a lot of checks in my favor. And that's when it's not just about getting in above the VWAP, it's about getting multiple checks in your favor. And then in the tape, here it wasn't confirming, but here it did. Because when it claimed the VWAP, the tape actually confirmed that it was holding. The buyer started to step in. And that's when I went long. That okay, this is a long looking for the break of high of the day. And this is usually my final exit. What you do is you scale out for the break of high, and then you scale in back once this area above the VWAP or close to the VWAP, the ceiling becomes the floor, and then you start scaling out again because it's a very simple ABCD pattern. So this is A, B, C, and D, or you can say A, B, C, and D. And it just keeps moving up, up, up until proven wrong. And once you come back, you want to see some buying pressure. It did saw some buying pressure, but again, it was finding a lot of sellers. And that's why I completely got out even before my break-even point, because I did not find the buyers interested to pull the price higher. And this is usually what I like to do is this is the first leg, this is the second leg, this is the third leg. And the conviction after the third leg is usually goes down. So yeah, so that's how I managed and traded on Nvidia. Okay, guys, I think I can wrap up early. I've been talking since 10, I guess. So I'll wrap it up 5 minutes early. But hope you have a great, great rest of the day and see you guys tomorrow. And see you guys later. Take care. Bye bye.